Ladies and from Miami, we have a loaded show tonight. We are going to sweat this CryptoPunks auction. Later in the show, we have Ros coming on, going to talk TopShot. We're going to rip open some packs. We got stuff to talk about with Meebits, with Bored Apes, everything, ETH all-time highs. It's going to be a great show. And to kick us off, we have a brand new opening here, compliments of our guy, Augustine. It's the new pack intro for Club TopShot. Let's do this.
Getting 1/5 of a CryptoPunk. Pete, I bought into TopShot for the bid equity, no doubt.
Hey, Damien, you can retire. Let's call up Steve Kerr right now. Tell him you're done.
Are you dressed like Elf, Jack? I'm just curious.
The club. It's Friday night at the club. What do you mean?
He's a freak. 3-on-2 game.
Oh, I'm an incredible
episodes.
basketball player. Awful shooter. Awful shooter.
Nasty jumper.
Would he ever gamble on shooting?
Here we go.
In the middle of the labor process, it's taking some time, and we knew it was going to be a little bit longer.
In the middle of labor.
You have to keep that. You have to keep that. You have to keep that.
We're fighting these bots for these packs. We got Jaw lighting up again
I
here.
think I'm way off. I had 160K.
He sounds like a madman living on the edge.
Club TopShot going up on a Tuesday.
Shout out to Augustine and the Club TopShot media team for that new intro. Just absolute fire from those guys.
That was
good.
That was amazing.
Love it. Love it.
They say we don't talk enough TopShot on here, but what if you just make your intro a TopShot pack opening? I feel like that's how we circumvent the rules.
Yeah. Breaking news. I think we're live on this punk auction right now, so we should definitely get that up.
Okay, I got so the punk option is up here. You're right.
Yeah, go to it fast.
All right. Can you guys hear that light audio? I just want some light audio there. Okay.
Yes.
Turn it up.
Yes. Hey.
Oh, this is awesome. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up.
All right.
7, 8 million in the room at 8 million.
I mean, this looks like it's out of an SNL skit.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
8 million here.
All right, what's the call?
8 million already.
Where are we going to
That's
land? Where are we going to land?
Well, so the big line all week on Twitter was this guy Keyboard Monkey was taking serious action at under 20 million was what he wanted.
So 9.5. Let's go.
He has
He's the same guy who's been shorting ETH the whole way up too, right?
yeah, he loves shorting ETH.
So why not just bid 21 million and also just scoop all of Keyboard Monkey's action?
I think odds are he wouldn't take from someone who he knew had enough money to do that.
He's screwed. We're already to 10 million.
Yeah, he's so screwed.
But he does have $1 million in action on it.
He's going 11.
Yeah, but he has $1 million in action on the under.
Right. But I'm saying, like,
11,
he had to find someone who had a decent amount of coin that, I mean,
11
is it
online
spread
in
against
Canada.
multiple people or was it straight
Yeah, he was
up?
taking multiple people.
Yeah,
I think a
hold on.
lot of it was against one person who I think he knew
12,
well enough that he
straight
would
back.
assume they weren't gonna like fuck him over
online.
in that way.
I mean, how
Guys,
quickly did he just
13
lose this?
million,
This is
heavy
about a
votes now
blast
online,
through
13
20.
here with Alex Marshall.
We got to listen to the audio here.
All right, I'll shut up.
14 online. Alex has it for 13.
What does that QR code bring you to, I wonder?
I'll scan it.
It's how you reserve Friday's pack.
It drains your liquidity on MetaMask.
You scan that and it downloads your private code.
2 bidders out there online.
So we were talking about in one of the chats. I mean, it's a huge oversight that the Ethereum and Bitcoin conversions are not on this overall scoreboard next to, but behind the auctioneer. They have it at every currency in the world except for the most relevant ones.
Yeah.
Canada.
I'm
yours
nervous
is
to talk.
14
I feel like
million.
Just wants to hear this
Come back
lady.
to
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, dude, guys, this is fucking history here.
Like, who is that
Oh,
guy?
hot in their mouths. Let's go.
40,500,000.
I am a little bit jealous that I'm not the one who's just receiving calls and being like, 22 million.
No,
25.
that's the stable boy of Christie's auctions
Right.
for sure.
Will you come back to me at 15?
You guys think this is definitely going 20?
Easy.
Are you
We're
kidding?
We're soaring over.
Still ahead of the online bidders. Talk to
Mike,
me
I'll
online.
put
We
up
have
as many
14,500,000
cosmics as you want on
Alex
over
Marshall
20 mil right now.
For the moment.
You can't match the number I can put up.
Noah,
Hey, get the family vault on the line for an auction within auction.
Yeah. The little 1994 Nokia phones are good
Noah's
looking.
working on it. London, Hong Kong. Are you
London,
joining us?
Hong Kong, Australia. Who wants a CryptoPunk?
14,500,000.
Does anyone want to assemble an investor group to go in on a CryptoPunk?
Noah. Decision time.
I think the
Online.
beauty of it all is obviously
sure?
that they were all free.
Online.
Up for me to 15.
Imagine buying an entire CryptoPunk when you could just buy a fifth of one for
Fair
much
warning
less
online.
money.
Really, last call now.
We might be done.
Last call.
Here, Alex Marshall, your bid for the CryptoPunks at $14,500,000.
That's it?
No.
Noah. $14,500,000 for the CryptoPunks here at Christie's. Sold to you. Thank you.
No.
Wow, keyboard monkey.
Wow.
Wow, Jack,
Mike,
you just
Mike, you
you
should've
saved
taken
your
it.
entire cosmics.
Next is Lost
Mike,
12.
you should have taken it.
Wow, that's it. That is it.
I mean, are we bearish punks? I feel like Andy's like stunned. Jennings just had the worst night of his life. That's no doubt about that.
Pete, are you eating right now? You want to talk about it?
He's lost for words.
I think it's okay. I mean, Andy and I we're fractional owners of that buy.
Yeah.
So that's part of the split here. That was us.
Yeah, you want to talk about it now?
I'm still trying to process this whole thing.
Was that you guys?
Call. 1 second.
I didn't know we were going to talk about it. I always thought we would keep that offline. Yes.
You guys are actual psychopaths, and that's why this is amazing.
Andy, can I recommend a way to display your new alien?
Dude, I have like 2% of it.
Trust me, dude, that's never stopped me.
Holy
Yeah, maybe that was an offline discussion. Sorry, but that's why.
Yeah, maybe.
Late for that now.
It's too late. Yeah, we can't put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste.
Is it confirmed that it was your guy? Did you know which horse was yours in that live feed?
I'm gonna shut up now. Just but 14.5. What do you think?
We've all seen Pete fire off tweets and then delete them, and he's just done the video version of that, where he wishes he could delete what he just said, but he can't.
Yeah, honesty gets you in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, 14.5. Jack, you get to keep your cosmics. I thought it was going over that too. Keyboard Monkey is printing.
Yeah, I'm pumped for Keyboard Monkey. He's a really nice guy. He's a bit of an Ethan Punk bear, which is a bummer. But he's a nice dude. So
that's the I feel like the CryptoPunk maxis, are they going to be tilting right now?
Well, so what is that in
They
Ethereum?
are tilting.
Yeah?
They are tilting.
Are
G
they?
Money already. Christie's really fucked this up. Thread to follow. And let me tell you, when an ETH maxi threatens a thread, they're going to deliver on it, guys.
I think the thread's going to be all about how a lot of the parties who were going to bid were not able to bid. They couldn't get by KYC and whatever else.
So I can actually speak to that a little bit. So I was a part of Punk 4156, who you guys may or may not have seen on Twitter. He's one of the ape CryptoPunks. He is a pseudonymous guy. He's made a shit ton of money in crypto.
People made the drawing of his punk.
Yeah, he's a really nice dude. I've been talking to him for a while about fractional and just a lot of stuff, and he's super awesome. So we, myself and him and Beanie, were trying to start a DAO to bid on this, and we had around 14 million committed. Maybe like a week ago or so, just of like 50 people who were all like, "Yeah, I'll put up 100 ETH. I'll put up 200 ETH," and basically. Christies and Coinbase were like, "No, we can't do that," and so I think we probably could have gotten. I think there were several groups like us who all probably could have gotten 20, 30 million ETH together to bid on this thing, and it's just today they were posting in the Punks Discord. I think they realized it was going to go for less than they thought, and they were in the Punks Discord like, "Yeah, call us up. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out." But it was just too late, and all these.
Is there a buyer's premium?
15%, I think.
Gotcha. And was that factored into the price, or that's coming after? So
I think it should be on top.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's probably like 16 or so.
Yeah, I saw that screenshot from the CryptoPunks Discord where it was like, "No, anyone's good. Yeah, you keep going." But like,
they were just too late. I don't think they realized how many groups were interested in doing something like that, and what the price could have gotten to in a situation like that. And I mean, it was a learning experience for them. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Sotheby's punk auction in a few weeks. But it's a bummer. There was just $15 million spent on some Jpegs, so can't really complain too much. I think it probably puts a good light on things in general, considering the last USD buy was 7.5 million.
I was just gonna ask the 7.5 million. What does I don't know the valuations on the rest of the lot. What is this approximately price the alien at in this auction?
Well, so the thing is in Ethereum, it's significantly less because Ethereum's just gone crazy.
Yeah.
So at Ethereum prices, so the last two aliens both sold for 4.2K Ethereum. And so that would put them in the 17 million range just for the alien in and of itself. But granted, at the time, Ethereum was much less, and it was more in the 7.5, 8 million range. So it sold for almost 2x the last alien, alongside some other punks. But ETH wise, it's down significantly from the last alien sale.
So I think that the fact that there's an upcoming alien auction, I mentioned this, I think in that same chat that we're in, Punk Chat, the fact that there is an upcoming alien auction, I think hurts the case for this one. Part of the pitch for this one was that aliens are generally unattainable. There's 9 of them. They're all held by people who would never trade them or sell them. And so if you want an alien, if you want that to have that metaverse flex and avatar flex, this is the one you have to buy. And now there's been an announcement in advance of this auction that there's another one coming up a month from now, whatever it is. And so I think that hurts the appeal of this one.
Does anyone have a answer to this question? Why would you package a super rare alien with a bunch of other punks? Why not just sell it separately?
That was Larva Labs' choice. I don't think they've really come out and said much about it. I do think that kind of the provenance of these being the 9 Christie's aliens is interesting, or Christie's punks is interesting. But yeah, it's a good question. I'd be curious to hear what Larva Labs had to say about it.
Yeah. I didn't watch a ton of the beginning of the auction. I don't quite understand the actual mechanics of how long the timer is reset on a bid, whatever. But it did seem like they were just rushing through the CryptoPunks auction.
So fast.
Where are you at, Jack? This isn't your usual New York City apartment.
No, I'm flying to LA tomorrow, so I'm staying at my girlfriend's out in Long Island because it's closer to JFK Airport.
Yeah, I doubt you ever put any artwork on the wall in your apartment, so that was a key giveaway.
I was thinking about getting some physical art. I walked by an art gallery this weekend. I was captured visually by some really cool art. but I'm currently I'm putting them on hold because the artist is releasing an NFT. So I'm waiting to see what the NFT looks like before I buy the physical. It's just like the lease is up in 10 months and then I got to move it. Like physical stuff really is just, it's not efficient.
That's the most Jack thing ever, getting into art because he walked by a gallery on the way home one day.
It was a sick piece of art. You saw it. It was dope. It was dope, but yeah.
Jennings, talk to us. I mean, I mean, the cat's already out of the bag. Just talk to us.
I'm gonna play the fifth here. I just feel like a total donkey, but
Congrats, fellas! Big night.
I'll tell you, there's only one way to plead the fifth. A fifth of a CryptoPunk, Pete.
I'll cheers that. This is I promise there's alcohol in this.
Cheers, guys.
I'm not drinking alcohol tonight. I also got the second shot today.
Yeah.
First punk that I bought today too. So it's been an eventful day.
Wait, what did you say about punk today?
I sold a punk today.
Really? Bearish
Was that
and
your
bullish.
hoodie? Was that your hoodie?
Yeah.
That you sold?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, wait, so did you literally sell the hype and buy the dip? Is that what just happened?
I don't know what just happened. But yeah, it is a crazy time. I mean, I do agree with Mike's point about the other alien coming up, and then I definitely want to hear everyone's perspective on kind of the Meebits, which I think is a huge factor in all of this too.
Well, yeah, because Mike just mentioned that about being the ultimate flex in the metaverse, and I feel like the narrative around the Meebits right now is that the CryptoPunks are the ultimate flex on Twitter, but the Meebits are going to be the flex in the metaverse. So where are we lying? Where are we flexing, both short and long term?
I mean, I think punks remain the best flex. That they're the pioneer project of NFT world, and part of what makes Meebits appealing and attractive is that it's the punk guys who created that project. And while it appears that there are a few groups working on ways to make punks kind of three-dimensional and avatarable for metaverse usage, and obviously you can just kind of plaster it on your wall or whatever else you want to do with it in metaverse world if you have a punk. And so there's art value to there. So I don't think you necessarily have to be able to walk around with your punk for it to play a role in the metaverse. And so my view is punks remain king and Meebits are interesting, and we'll see how that evolves.
Andy, did you have thoughts? There was some controversy with how they withheld the punks that weren't claimed, or the Meebits that weren't claimed by punk owners. It seemed like some people that didn't sit well with people.
Yeah, I don't know. So essentially what happened was, I'll get into the whole Meebits exploit. Probably is the best way to go about talking about this.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, Saturday morning, I think, there were some weird transactions on the Meebit claiming contract, and basically there was like a list of every single Meebit that was somehow leaked. I don't know how it got out, but it basically had a list of every single ID of Meebits and what their characteristics were, so you could see if they were a visitor or a dissected or what their rarity was. And then this guy basically made a script to keep claiming Meebits, and he would claim it through a smart contract, and the smart contract had particular Meebit IDs that it would accept on claiming, and if it wasn't one that it wanted, it would reject that claim and then try again. And he just kept doing that until he minted a visitor, which it's like a 1 in some very low number chance that you would do that. Did it for a while, minted one, and then immediately sold it for 200 Ethereum to Pranksy. At which point the Larva Labs people paused the claiming of Meebits, and so they decided to hold back the rest of the Meebits that had not been claimed and keep them themselves and do something with them. People were mad about this because they just made $80 million selling all the Meebits that they sold, and they were like, why do you need another 1,000 Meebits that weren't claimed? I don't know how I feel about it personally. I think that, so in my opinion, Larva Labs is the largest risk for punks as far as like the value proposition of punks. The worst thing that can possibly happen to them is Larva Labs does something that pisses people off enough that they don't like punks anymore. And this is the first time where something has happened that makes me think like that to me, where it was like, oh shit, that could actually happen. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what it would be, but like they could do things that piss people off to the point where they decide they don't like punks. I don't think this is that. People will get over it. I'm happy that they made money. I'm glad they did. They made punks, and punks are worth billions of dollars, and they didn't really see an insane amount of money from it. So I don't have an issue with that. But it was kind of a realization that like them existing and doing things and building things, while they can add value to punks, also can detract from the value of punks more than like if they were just disappeared and were no longer a company. I think that punks would just continue to be the like premier NFT store of value. Kind of in perpetuity without them. Whereas with them being there, there's the chance they mess something up and do something that really pisses people off.
Yeah, Mike, did you redeem all of your Meebits? Are you stoked on the Meebits? Do you like the Meebits?
So I do like the Meebits. I think that there are going to be a lot of groups trying to come up with, the winning avatar for the metaverses. And so the question is going to be, is Larva Labs established enough as preeminent developers and the reputation they've built with punks and glyphs and over time for that to be enough for Meebits to stand out? And I don't know, I mean, the best argument for that is that the punk community and the people who own punks are some of the bigger names in the NFT space, and those are the people who were, given Meebits for free. So obviously they all own Meebits unless they've sold theirs at this point, and those are the people who are influential in the space. And if they're cruising around the metaverses with their Meebits, I think that carries weight. And so I've held on to mine. I purchased 3 and I redeemed the ones that I had for my punks. And so I own a bunch of them. I haven't sold any. The best one I got by far was a pig with a Kevin Durant jersey. It's a black basketball jersey that's number 7 and clearly inspired by Kevin Durant. And it's a very nice Meebit. And so that'll be my metaverse persona going forward.
Is that like I feel like with the Zed Run horse names, the Meebits jerseys, is everyone just trying to tail the kind of NBA TopShot, NBA hype? I mean, they know how to pander to us, right?
Yes, they do. They do. The basketball jersey I found very, very attractive and enjoyable on the pig.
Yeah. What's the deal with that dissected one? That one looked pretty sick.
So, I mean, the first, couple thousand that were minted, it appeared like the rarest one was going to be this one called Visitor, which is the alien looking one, and the one that the guy who found the vulnerability was able to mint. And then suddenly this one came up called Dissected, which is basically a human looking Meebit with no skin. You can see all his organs and his brain and all of that. And he's encased by what looks like plastic or glass. And there was only one of them for a while, and I think it ended up with 5. I think there are 5 or 6 total, and that makes it pretty, very, very rarer than the aliens in punk world, and so it's a pretty interesting concept and a very, very rare Meebit. I don't think any of them have actually traded yet. Though there's only one listed, from what I know, which is listed for about $10 million, and we will see what happens.
Jennings, our CryptoPunks group chat is a little bearish on the Meebits. The paper hands were starting to come out on the Meebits. You're muted. You're still muted.
Wow, what a struggle. I mean, I'm not on my A game tonight. Yeah, I think I'm still uncertain on the Meebits. I think Andy brought up some good points. This was the most puzzling move for me by Larva Labs, and I've heard a couple comments. I think that auctioning off some of the Meebits is smart, but the fact that they're taking some of the unclaimed Meebits was a bit concerning to me, especially given the amount of punks they already have. So that part was a little concerning to me. I still obviously love the punks. I think the Meebits are really dope, and we've seen a lot of really cool stuff that people have done with them. But I'm I have a little bit of pause right now, and I'm very curious to see how both Meebits and Punks do over the next bit of time. And yeah, the auction I think is pretty neutral. I'd kick it around to you guys. Like, what do you think the auction is for Punks? Like, what's the consensus on good or bad for Punks long term?
Well, I feel like we should throw it right back at you.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Is Ros supposed to be joining now? She
No.
said she's trying to get in the club.
She's told me
tweeting at her.
she told me 10 Eastern. She said she
Maybe.
had 30 minutes at 10 Eastern.
Gus Yates says otherwise.
And she has the link. She has the link. I emailed it to her.
She said someone called Pete.
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
I DM'd with her all earlier. We were talking. She has the link.
I'm just gonna say Pete's sending you a
Roz
message.
has an open invite to join whenever. The link is in her inbox.
All right.
No, Pete, I was going to throw it back to you because you sold a CryptoPunk today. So you're clearly thinking through the dynamics of how this auction, the Meebits, everything is affecting the market. So why don't you explain your thought process there?
Yeah, well, I listed that punk for 118 ETH a couple of weeks ago. Just kind of, I thought it was a very specific punk that has the gold chain hood is obviously a really good combination of attributes, and just looking for the perfect buyer. And then a guy came in today and bid 80 Ethereum on the punk that I ended up selling, as well as I think 80 on another hooded punk that was somewhat similar. So I just thought it was a good price relatively. There's some other attributes that I've been looking to scoop up. I've kind of had my eyes out, and also thought, tonight was going to potentially have some big movement in the punks market. So that was my rationale for that move. I sat on my Meebits. We ended up buying a couple more, my buddies and I, and we sold some of those. So yeah, I don't have like a ton of conviction on like what the right move is. But yeah, the auction tonight I think was pretty neutral. I thought over 20 was quite likely, which would have been a huge sign. But still, 14.5 million. That's going to gain notoriety. It's going to be a big story. And it's not like a really low number. And we also have just like the difference between Ethereum and US dollars. Like, I don't know. We've all kind of had different views, and certainly there's been different data. Like, do punks move in ETH or do they move in US dollar? It's clearly a combination. And I guess tonight moves the weighted thing more towards US dollar than Ethereum, which makes sense given this specific auction as well.
Andy, how do you think about that as far as ETH moving so much in just even the past month? I've seen people talking about, stuff being listed at certain ETH prices a month ago now looks outlandish relative to where it is now. It's kind of a mindfuck to think about the US dollar to ETH kind of conversion.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It was something that has been an interesting conversation over the last couple of months, where generally the public consensus has been that punks in particular are at like kind of a leveraged long on Ethereum because they're priced in Ethereum, and if Ethereum goes up and punks are also increasing in value, then they're increasing even more so compared to Ethereum, and that it generally held true from Ethereum going up from $1,000 to 2,000 to even close to 3,000. But now, as Ethereum's kind of just like gone pretty crazy over the last bit, that has not held anymore. And so I'm not sure whether it's Ethereum going crazy or some combination of that plus the Christie's auction hype kind of dying down and people realizing maybe this wasn't going to sell for as much as they thought it would. It's really hard to say. There's so many moving factors right now that maybe there's a little more nuance to it than we realize. And realistically, there probably is. But yeah, I think from talking to some very smart people whose opinions I respect, I expect that punks will probably return to like a 20 Ethereum floor at some point. And it'll probably just take some time. I think that probably people who make a lot of money on Ethereum and then cycle into collectibles and stuff like NFTs, there's some gaps between the run up of Ethereum and then spending that on a JPEG. So that it'll be interesting to see kind of what plays out there.
Jack, do you wrestle with hodling Ethereum versus spending your Ethereum on JPEGs?
If I could afford a punk right now, I would. I think one of my biggest mistakes early on when the punks were somewhat acquirable was I guess I didn't really think about that it is tied to ETH. Which has been huge for kind of the value of all the punks, at least for someone who works in US dollars for the most part. But I also just this was my exposure to Ethereum. I only really held Bitcoin, and then I went to TopShot where I kind of was just using USD, and then NFTs got me into ETH. But if I never thought of ETH as able to kind of go up in price. I just didn't know about its utility and everything. So, yeah, I think punks, and it's funny that Mike mentioned that, you know, the Meebits are going to be the flex in the metaverse, and these are like avatars. Like, I didn't even think of punks as much as a flex, as more so like it's just the best bet you can make on an NFT because it was the first one. Like, that was kind of my thesis for investing in one. So I think now they are being flexed. Obviously, some people are using them as their profile pictures, but I don't know. Like, I think the alien's really interesting. I was thinking about it on a walk. Is there anything in the world that there's only like 9 of? Like what is the comp to like the today, where it's like that really would be the biggest flex possible? Like, there's there's hundreds of major mansions. There's like, what would that be? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, there's like lots of one of one stuff, right? And there's lots of groups, but in that small, less than 10, denominator, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and this one's so out there, right? Yeah, exactly. Kent's like own a pyramid, you know. Like,
yeah, I think the examples here are probably like prominent artists. There's a bunch of watches that have like pieces of the moon in them or something, or like pieces of like the Titanic, where there's only like 5 of them, and so there are a few examples where there aren't many of them. There are, you know, the different versions of these, you know, of a different watch that may have a piece of something else would maybe be an ape, and the piece of the moon is maybe alien. So there are different versions. These are distinguishable, and if the world's moving more digital, you know, it may stand out. But I mean, I think overall, look, I think of things in dollars. I think a huge portion of the world does practically, and this is double the last alien price from a dollar standpoint, or almost double the last alien price, which I think is a bull signal. For me, the only bear signal that I get out of this is that it was effectively a group of existing punk owners that bought it, rather than new other interested parties coming in. And I think part of the hope of the Christies aspect of it is that it brings new attention to punks and potentially new money, and new people discover it. And this is, you know, their first punks that they buy. And, you know, it kind of went to the existing community, which is, you know, in some ways strengthens the existing community, but in other ways wasn't what I expected or hoped for.
Well, kind of what I was thinking about, with just the 9, right? Which is like you said, it's just punk owner or whatever. It's punk owners who bought it. What if like if someone massive had come in and $15 million, like if it was Bill Gates or it was, you know, LeBron, right? Would that have done anything? We see a lot of when you leave the crypto community, people are less willing to maybe spend their USD on this, but like, is that where it would become the craziest flex ever? Is where, like, you know, J-Lo has it as her Beyonce, Jay-Z? I don't know. Like, is that what the next crazy level goes to, or does that not matter that much?
No comments. Everyone's muted except Jack. Did you just ask that to me? Yes. The next.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
That's a good question.
I mean, aren't you with punks? You're betting on NFTs becoming absolutely massive and everyone continuing to cycle back to CryptoPunks being the Genesis NFT.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing is, like, you know, there are only 9 alien punks. You need 9 really wealthy people to want to buy one for more than you bought yours for, at most. So it's really hard to say. Like, Logan Paul has a CryptoPunk. Is that a famous enough person that it would like kick people off?
So I think
really
like
hard to say.
15 mil is a lot of money, but there's also people out there that like that's not that much money to, not in the crypto space. And does that like bring a whole new world of people into this? Because a lot of those people with that type of money, they are just looking to flex. So they have so much money, they don't know what to do with it. When you build a golf course in the front yard of your Hamptons house, that tells me that you just have too much money that you don't know what to do with. So I would be interested to know if like they think that's cool. Someone wrote in the chat, Elon, like if he buys it, an alien, what's that do to punks? I don't know.
Yeah. I want to let people know. So I think Ros is just playing. She told me she wasn't available until 10 Eastern, but I can tell she's excited to get into the club. Ros will be here later. We are going to talk TopShot later. We got lots of stuff to talk about, but I think there is some more meat on the bone here with NFTs, crypto. Andy, there was a tweet from Mike McDonald earlier too, talking about, he was basically inferring that people might be a little naive about the possibility of another crypto bear market being on tap here, where I literally logged into a Bitcoin Spaces talk, where they were talking about a super cycle right now. And that's kind of the term where I guess the question I'm asking is, does everyone collectively have blinders on right now where it only goes up and that we couldn't actually be hitting a long-term bear market at some point sooner than people want?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely. I'm a little jaded because I've spent most of my time holding crypto in a bear market, and so I generally am kind of anticipating the worst, but I also am like planning to hold crypto until it's worth a lot of money. so like it doesn't really change much for me. I think the idea of a super cycle is very interesting, so basically, for anyone who's not familiar, it's the idea that so crypto as this like niche kind of alternative investment platform has extremely volatile and very violent bear and bull cycles. And the idea of a super cycle is where crypto starts to enter the mainstream and become a normal investment platform, where for like your average person, and then the bear and bull cycles are not nearly as violent as they were previously, because it's kind of entered the mainstream like consciousness of what you would store value in, and it's hard to know, because every time crypto goes up a lot, it seems like, oh my god, this is the time, it's all going to be mainstream, it's going to be awesome. It's hard to know. If I had to guess, there will be personally, I'm expecting an extremely violent bear market at some point, where people are going to lose an insane amount of money. But I also generally expect the worst with stuff like that. But yeah, I think that for the most part, people are a little bit like have blinders on, because it does feel like there's more real world adoption than normal, or than previous cycles. But that's going to keep happening until we do eventually either hit the mainstream or just like kind of fizzle out and not be nearly as big a thing as we expect it to be.
How do you guys think that stuff like Dogecoin impacts that, right? Because that's kind of at right now our best bridge to mainstream adoption. I mean, we have Elon Musk going on SNL, referencing Dogecoin, it pumping, then dropping as everyone was selling stuff. But that has been, to a lot of casuals, their thoughts of cryptocurrency is like Bitcoin in this weird meme coin, Dogecoin. So is Dogecoin, dare I say, good or bad for overall crypto adoption?
I think it's good in that it's a gateway. I guess in some ways it's like TopShot, where it's an easy way for people to learn about cryptocurrencies. A lot of people are just kind of reading about Dogecoin, seeing Elon Musk talking about it, watching SNL, and just spending some time on Google and YouTube. What is Dogecoin? Oh, it has blockchain technology. What's going on in this world? And that will lead to some adoption. So I think that's the positive side of it. The negative side of it is that it sort of makes everything feel like a joke, like it's not a serious industry, that these things that are worthless or meme based or hype driven are the entire industry, and there's nothing productive being done here. And so I think it's a net positive, but it's not all good.
I agree with you. I think it's a gateway, and I think it's a completely awful thing because I think it's a gateway drug, and it's why Cum Rocket and Pussycoin and Elon's Cum.
This is a family-friendly show.
have been pumping, and it I'm sitting there. Andy's tweeting about it. I agree. It is a form of gambling, and that's why people love it. But it's teaching people awful fundamentals, and like Andy said, we're in for a violent bear market. Now, does a violent bear market mean that Bitcoin drops to 35K and ETH drops to 2K, and it's still 50%, but it's not that bad? But the shit that's going to actually go to zero, Doge maybe can hold on, but all that stuff that you see influencers pumping and Twitter people pumping, it's so dangerous for so many people. So I think it's bad. In the long term, yes, it is. It's going to teach a lot of people about cryptocurrency, but it reminds me a little about TopShot too. It's like, are you going to burn a lot of the potential customers who are going to have an awful experience, which a lot of people in TopShot have? So, like Ian in the chat, Wolfie is the exception. I promise you. That coin is not the exception. He's
right. And I hate to break it to you, Jack. So this is actually really funny. So basically, there's this coin called YFI that is a very legitimate DeFi token, which is like a yield aggregator for DeFi stuff. And so as a meme, they made Woofy, where you could deposit one YFI and get back like 1 million Woofy. But it's just it's a direct peg 1-to-1,
right.
And people have been buying it like crazy, even though it's literally just the exact same thing as YFI, totally off peg from the price. And it was literally just like an A/B test of how much does unit bias affect people, because one YFI is currently like $80,000 and one Woofy is like 8 cents. So this is the one case where it actually is the exception. But I agree.
We're all laughing because we really want to get the joke, but we don't.
I'll take a contrarian stance. I've never owned Dogecoin. Still don't own Dogecoin, but I think it's actually more of a positive than people realize. I think I kind of missed the boat and didn't think about it enough. The joke element, I think, can be taken as a positive in some ways. I think a lot of these projects take themselves, it's really important, right? I think obviously the security of blockchain is something that's so enticing and a huge part of what we're seeing, but all these projects, come out so serious, and obviously a lot of the people who are making the projects are just trying to make a quick buck. I think the underlying reason why Doge took off and why Elon's so attracted to it is that joke element. And, I don't think it can be repeated. And I think a lot of people are just trying to do the same thing, which is, it's not going to be the same. But I think it's interesting. And I think it's just kind of a different dynamic to look at with our society. And sometimes like what Elon says, the most entertaining outcome is kind of the best outcome. And Doge
I will agree that I am bullish on Dogecoin. I 100% think that Dogecoin is here to stay and is not going anywhere at this point. I've actually changed my mind on that. It's like the 15th Shiba Inu coin, random bullshit that people are going to get burned on really, really bad.
No,
yeah,
but let's
hold on real quick. I want to make the most important point that's so critical with crypto. All of these assets are the most powerful and most important factor is network effect. And Doge has network effect. So that's the massive, you can look at all these things and different protocols do different things. There's different technology and you can make bull and bear cases for a variety of different crypto assets. the end of the day, network effect is just, I don't want to put a percentage on it, but it's like the vast majority of the success of a project is network effect, and Doge has that.
Well, this is what I want Andy to untangle, because I agree with everything Pete just said. But the whole thing is, aren't they just printing Dogecoin year after year? So how do you weigh the inertia of network effects with like the actual economics of inflation as it pertains to Dogecoin?
Well, so I mean, like Bitcoin also is printing Bitcoin year after year. It definitely, I don't think that Dogecoin is going to upend Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's not what I mean. I don't even know if it's going to, maintain its USD price, maybe the market cap or whatever. And like kind of ignoring the like pure economics of their printing versus the couple people that have billions of dollars of Dogecoin. I just kind of feel like the last couple of years have made it very clear that like memes are extremely powerful, and like people just fucking love memes, and they like actually can influence the way people think and act and spend money and do things between elections and other tons of different things. And I don't see why it'd be any different in crypto. Is kind of like the major case, much more outside of like the economics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we can't have it both ways, right? Because the whole reason people get off on Bitcoin is the 21 million total supply. The whole thing you hear from all the ETH maxis right now is it's going to become deflationary with whatever's happening in July, all of this stuff. But then that conversation isn't used as a bear case for Dogecoin when it's used as a bull case for those.
Well, but so what I would say is I don't think I won't say anyone. I think that 99% of people who are buying Dogecoin don't care about any of that.
No,
that
they don't.
Completely irrelevant to them.
100%.
They only care about the price.
Yeah, I think that it's literally just a meme for them.
Yeah, that's why I think it's super, like, it's a meme. It's super funny. And then when a bear market happens and people need to put food on the table, like the first thing to go is the humor. Like people aren't laughing as much.
So you're saying I'm first thing to go during a bear market, Jack?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think, I mean, yeah, it has the right people backing it for sure right now. But it just feels like a dangerous game. Memes are amazing. I love memes. I think everyone loves memes, but yeah, I don't know. It's a wild time.
I mean, I think that the people who hold it are looking for more than the price. Jack, you suggested it was just the price. I think people who own it love to, share that experience with their friends. Even if they own 50 of them, they like to post about it. They like the chaos it causes. Right. They like seeing the financial sector kind of confused and twisted about it. And I think that's what Jennings was getting to earlier, where you kind of think about the societal impact of this and people's desire to almost stick it to the man, and what a way to do so other than turning a joke into a 60-70 billion market cap
they
concept.
Do,
yeah.
And that's my point. But then the second that GameStop stops pumping, right, then everyone's out, because it actually does it. Like, they just want to be part of it until, it kind of does them wrong, and then everyone's going to flee that, right? So that's why people always talk about don't be the one left holding the bag. And I could totally see Doge, being a situation like that. Maybe it's not Doge, maybe Doge does stay, but like Andy said, the 15th shitcoin that's related to a dog, be very careful out there.
Well, yeah, I agree. I don't own any. I don't plan on getting any. I mean, the one interesting thing, though, is it seems like Elon Musk is very dedicated to the cause, that he's going to send a rocket up to space next year called like Doge rocket or whatever it is. And I think maybe with an image of the Shiba Inu on it. And so I don't know what's going to happen there. He's obviously a pretty popular figure, but it's a crazy time with Dogecoin right now.
I feel like partnering up with Cum Rocket would actually be more logical for you.
Oh man, I mean, I will say the amount of like truly absurd shit coins that people are buying is insane. And for the record, talking about all this, I don't buy any of that stuff. I just like I was listening to someone talk about this stuff, and I thought they had a good point, and it was like, I want to buy things where if everything goes to shit and I lose all my money, I can explain to my family how I lost all my money without being horribly embarrassed. And for me personally, buying Shiba coin and Dogecoin and Cum Rocket is not part of that for me. So I personally stick to things I have a little more conviction in outside of just memes. But I do think that, like, in general, meme investing and stuff is here to stay.
Does it not feel like the top though? Like when Cum Rocket is pumped, 12,000%. Like, does it, like, I feel like every leg, right, of crypto and Top Shot, everyone's like, this feels like the top, and it wasn't, and they kept going, right, and it keeps going. This one to me feels like, I'm not calling a top because I'm terrible at calling markets. That's why I just sit on whatever I have.
We already tried you calling Top Shot having stable pack drops, and we saw how well that worked out.
Exactly. That's why I'm not good at that. But like you said, Andy, if this was the top and you look back 3 months or 6 months and you're like, well, yeah, when the 15th Dogecoin pumped and everyone dumped their life savings into it, that was probably a good sign. That's just, I just want to give people
so
it's dangerous.
My personal opinion about that kind of stuff, and generally, like I said, I don't really sell crypto. That's not what I'm in the market of doing. But I do think that's a really funny comment from Ricky Geiger. So for me personally, I actually don't think so, just because. So I think it's like, I think it's obviously extremely complex, but you have a bunch of people who are, I would say, doing a lot of this stuff because they are generally unhappy with the way a lot of things are going in the world, and so they are putting a lot of money into GameStop and now Dogecoin and now Shiba Coin. I don't think those people are going to put that money back into the stock market. I think they're probably going to, at some point when they stop, if they stop putting their money into shitcoins, either like take that money out to cash and hold it because good for them, they made some money, or like learn more about cryptocurrency at that point, because in my personal opinion, the people who are interested in buying these things probably are interested in alternative investments in general, and maybe at this point, now that they've been onboarded to buying crypto, are interested in learning about Ethereum. Like my sister, who bought a bunch of Dogecoin, was like, should I trade all my Dogecoin for Ethereum? And I doubt she's the only person who thought that, and I was like, yeah, you should do that. And so I
literally devoted my life to this platform. Yes, you should do that.
Yeah, no, just keep buying Dogecoin, Sophie. It's fine. So I do think that there's that kind of aspect where it's very hard to draw the line between what is a top symbol and what is just people learning about crypto and it becoming more mainstream. And who the hell knows? Generally, I'm just betting that in the next 5 years, crypto will be higher than it is right now. But it's hard to say.
Yeah. So I think timing tops, there's a famous saying, like, it's time in the market, not timing the market. And there's some general investing things I think can really help, especially if it becomes like too high of your net worth, which I think for a lot of people with the recent run up with crypto, there's some very easy things you can do. And I know Mike, one other thing I just want to preface before I say this, not a financial advisor, and also taxes are a huge thing, which Mike has talked extensively about. So like taxes are a nightmare, and there's tax consequences with all this stuff. So those two things up front. But you should have, when you're investing, most of the time you want to be buying for the long term. You should be buying in things that you believe in. And I think a lot of people are passionate about crypto and how it can change the world. And we're seeing real adoption now. If you just look at the total number of wallets, it's skyrocketing, which is a really, really good sign, not just the price. And in terms of just like how to allocate your own portfolio, I'm a big fan of rebalancing, which, I think you should have conviction in what you're doing. But, if crypto becomes way outsized in your portfolio, just consider bringing your crypto position back to where you were originally at, or where you think is a reasonable amount of your total portfolio to be in crypto. And doing stuff like that versus like, oh, I have to time the top, I'm going to be all out now, and you sell too early or whatever. Or, you don't sell at all because you don't want to be, selling too early. So like, I think people have too much of a definitive, like, I'm going to sell all or not going to sell any. And like a rebalancing strategy is a really easy way to kind of take the emotion out of this stuff. That being said, taxes are a real thing. You want to hold things for the long term too. But yeah, I'd love to kick it to Mike because I know you think about this in your day job, and curious how you're thinking about just all of this. I mean, NFTs became a huge part of your portfolio with TopShot. Crypto's obviously grown substantially relative to where it was a year ago. How are you thinking about all these things?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, depending on where you think my portfolio is worth today, my collection of TopShot, it makes up a very substantial part of my overall net worth. And it's something I have to think about pretty often. You know, should I hold this? Should I rebalance in a big way? And you know, I've been thinking about this since my portfolio was valued at $500,000, and now it's multiples of that. And you know, I think that I'm in the, I guess, fortunate position where theoretically, if TopShot goes to zero, you know, I can still continue on, pay my rent, and do things like that. So it's a huge and completely irresponsible bet. But I continue to think that it has very outsized upside versus downside, and so I think that you want to get down as much money as you can and with as much conviction as you can on your big bets. I think I'm taking it to an irresponsible extreme, and I probably should dollar cost out on the way up. The best advice I'd probably give is dollar cost in. You know, if you like a product, put in 10% a week for 10 weeks, and just kind of flatten out the ups and downs, and dollar cost on the way out too. You know, as it's going up, keep rebalancing, as you say, Jennings. And I don't think I'm the right example here. I think I'm probably being too aggressive. I think there's a real chance in a few years I look back and say, what an idiot. And I could have taken a lot off the table here and had some real life-changing money. And, maybe my view on it changes over time. I think a few other points that are relevant to my case and to some others here on the stage here. Taxes are huge, and there's short-term taxes versus long-term taxes, and the difference is somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20%. If you sell now versus waiting until September, October, whenever you bought in, a year after you bought in, that's obviously a huge benefit, and that's a guaranteed benefit. It's hard to predict the market. It's not hard to predict that you get a 15 to 20% bump at year one. And so I think that's important. I think also, there's something to be said for what having a large collection has, the doors that's opened for me personally. I think that I've had a lot of opportunities from an investment standpoint.
Also, the holes in your jeans that's open for you too.
Oh, all right. You're gonna be the first to go when people have to pay their bills and the funny things go, huh?
you hope.
Yeah.
Hey, no, you don't have to worry about taking profits off the table. You have the ultimate profit generator in a tennis match with Adam Levitan, who's ratcheting up his life insurance policy, according to him earlier this week. I think you're fine there.
That is not correct at all on taxes, just a CPA here. Okay, so we should bring in Ben to talk about short-term versus long-term taxes, because everyone else I've spoken to thinks that exists.
Yeah, I actually, funny enough, had my yearly check-in with my financial advisor, and explaining them Zed was definitely an interesting exercise, but his reference was to go to the CPA, but the conversation we had, because he knows the CPA, is like, they're probably not going to know. So it's actually like a really interesting time. I'd be curious to hear from Andy, who's been doing, I mean, you keep tweeting about it, that it's a nightmare, but overall, like, no one, like, the US government doesn't even really have like laws in place for a lot of this stuff. It's honestly very confusing. To Mike's point, the one thing that I feel confident in, and it would be interesting to get whoever was just in the chat, is like short-term gains versus long-term gains. I do feel confident in saying like you will see a sizable difference in the amount you're taxed.
Yeah. So I mean, like, general, like in my tax bracket, it's about a 20% increase in taxes, short-term versus long-term, based on what I've paid, and I haven't had any issues yet. I've been trying very hard to pay my taxes the appropriate way for crypto stuff, because I'd rather not have to deal with it in the future. Just sounds like a shit show. But yeah, I definitely would highly recommend personally, I think that most people are probably going to lose money trading crypto. Just like compared to having some conviction in stuff that you like and holding it for a year or longer, you're probably going to lose money when you factor in taxes and everything. My general strategy for most stuff that has paid off the best has been when I just have stuff that I feel conviction on and hold it for the long term. Because taxes are a pain in the ass, and also doing your taxes are a pain in the ass. I've probably spent over 40 hours doing my taxes for this year. It's been terrible.
I'm going for the extension, I think. I emailed my guy today. I was like, I need the extension. I was losing my mind. I spent like 5 hours on it and got nowhere.
Mike's got
every year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They've already taken a snapshot of your account, like TopShot, Mike. There's no escaping this.
It's terrible.
Paxton Hayes, mom to the moon.
But just a bit of bow on this. I think Jennings is right that you should rebalance, and a lot of people have outsized crypto gains where it now makes up a huge portion of your net worth, and you should rebalance. Do not use me as an example. I'm doing a very bad job of that, and
I know this is not the sexiest thing to talk about, but it's so important. Like,
it's also. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, how much money you have is so relevant too. Like, if crypto is a huge percentage of your portfolio and you have $100 million, it's a lot different than if crypto is a huge percentage of your portfolio and you have 100K. Like, how much money you have and like what you need to sustain is a huge part of how aggressive you should be. You can,
and I'm sure that changed for you, Jennings, this year. I mean, you have an entire family, right? I talked about this today. For me, they asked me, right, if your TopShot account went to 0, how would you feel tomorrow? And I, not great. Not the worst, but not great. But overall, like, I don't have to support it. Like, I need to pay rent next month. That's it. For Jennings, that conversation completely changed. And I think that's also what it's important for everyone to recognize, which is like everyone has a unique situation that they need to be conscious of.
Peter has to buy new shoes for Gracie every week. She needs the new Ferocious shoes.
Did we talk about the punk shoes?
Yeah, I saw those today.
Those were
real quick.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can. I'm going to give Gracie a bath for 5 minutes, so I'll be right back. This is what
hey, make it 10 minutes. Pull out the rubber ducky and do everything you can, Pete.
It's actually adorable. She loves it. So love you guys, and yeah.
We'll see you in a few, Pete. We'll see you in a few. Yeah. He truly is doing everything he can.
Always has. Yeah, so the punk shoes today. What's the studio? RTFKT?
Artifact.
That's what it is?
That's
never knew that.
I just called it RFTK.
Hang on. I can't tell if Andy's doing a bit or if he's actually doing what I...
no, I had no idea.
No,
I had no idea. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, apparently you could mint a pair of shoes that match your punk, and then they're gonna have real shoes. I mean, talk about a flex. I feel like that's like the coolest in-person flex right now is like having punk shoes.
Dude, I immediately messaged our punks group chat and I was like, I don't know how much this costs, but I need to buy them because I just want to be able to do a bit about owning half of the shoelaces. That's immediately where my mind went. They did look legitimately very cool, and their hype trailer and stuff with the whatever. It's very impressive stuff.
Did Andy or Mike, did you guys do it, and how much is it? And I said I'm waiting a week to see if it's safe. I don't want to compromise my punk. I mean, I know that Artifact, which is apparently their name, is trustworthy, but did you do it, Mike?
So I haven't done it yet. The deal is, I'm trying to bring up the screenshot. Okay, the deal is, I'm reading now. You pay 1 Ethereum, which is a ton of money, for...
Oh, it's 1 ETH?
Yep, 1 ETH.
Jeez.
You get
maybe I won't be getting those shoelaces.
you get a punk sneaker NFT, a 1-of-1 NFT. You get the actual shoes. You get 1 VXL portrait. I don't know what that is. Maybe some metaverse thing. Andy, do you know what that is?
Not sure.
Okay, and then 1 metaverse wearable voxel file. So I think you can throw the shoes on your avatar guy.
Maybe it's like a crypto voxels thing.
Yeah, the VXL seems like that. I don't know, something metaversey, and that's what it comes with. And You only you have access to your punk's shoes. So if you don't own a punk, you can't go and mint one of the alien shoes. Only you do. If you can verify that you have that punk, and that's it. So it's $4,000 for that, and you get one of one NFT. It's a good studio, and you get the shoes. So
let me see how much this bid is going to cost me.
So the alternative here. Is there's also another group that's called like NFT Kicks that posted about making shoes for G Money. I don't know if you guys saw that one. Yeah, and there are a few people who are talking to them. I was actually talking to them. Well, I guess they might be charging different people different things, so I won't announce what price they were asking for, but they look pretty cool also. Should we do a screen share? Over that? Are you how on your game are you right now? Have you already brought them up?
I'm incredibly on my game.
All right, let's see if we can find this. NFT Kicks, I think, is the Twitter handle. Yeah, just at NFT Kicks. That's one, and then.
Oh, I thought you were sharing it. I was going to accept it. You want?
I can do that. Here, I'll drop it in the. I mean, I can share. Whatever.
Yeah, just close out all your TurboTax tabs and.
No. I was in a close out. Trying to deal with taxes. I was like, how much can I bother Andy before he blocks me on Telegram?
Andy, does your girlfriend do your taxes for you?
No, I would not do that to her. I want to stay in a relationship, and so I'm not doing that to her. So the last thing I'm going to say about taxes is I got to the point. So through token tax, you can I did everything. I imported it over. I manually went through over 3,000 transactions. And I updated my cost basis and updated certain ones that they were income from farming and all this shit. It took me over 40 hours, and I got to Turbo. I exported the file, and I was like, all right, now I just have to import this to TurboTax, and then I'm good to go. I import it, and I learned that every time I have it labeled as income as opposed to, so income is what you label for stuff like yield farming, where you just deposit shit and then get paid in tokens for doing it. None of that is input from the file. So I now have over 500 incomes that I have to manually input one at a time for a description and the USD amount that I was paid in income on TurboTax. So that's my entire day tomorrow is just going to be manually inputting all of my income from yield farming. And next year, I'm going to start doing my taxes next week for next year, and I'm just going to pay someone to do it. And it sucks.
Who are you going to pay to do it? That person doesn't exist.
God, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a number of calls that I've had about with crypto experts who 2 sentences in, you're like, okay, clearly you just read up what crypto is last week. Just no one knows the answer to anything. I'm going nuts. I'm losing my mind. I'm spending way too much time on this.
I'm going to become a NFT CPA and take all your guys' money. I think that's what
please take my money.
You your boy who's the CPA that comes on the show for
Pete,
DFS.
Yeah, why isn't he doing this?
He could do one wealthy person's crypto taxes, and I'm sure he'd make 10x what he's going to make from all the DFS. How many people are DFS losers? I mean, you're the deposit king. Do you even?
Hey, well, first of all, I became a winning player this year, so just relax. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna create a business with Pete, and we are going to charge you guys exorbiant rates to do your NFT taxes. And I will be the middleman. I will bring him people. So Ros is going to join us in a sec. One other thing to talk about before Ros joins, and we talk a lot of Top Shot, because Jack, I can't believe I'm bringing this up for you, but people wanted to talk about the horsies. The horsies. People want to do the horsies, which means I should play this.
I did. Underdogs in the chat, and a lot of people were triggered that I said I was not implying that anyone in the chat is a losing DFS player, just Pete because he's the deposit king. But yeah, the horsies. So here's the deal with the horsies. They did another Genesis drop, pretty much wiped out all the remaining Genesis horses. I think there's 250 left, maybe Z1s left, which would still be 25%, unsure. But the best part is they definitely thought they came up with a great drop strategy, which was they were going to give different waves to different people. You were going to have a unique link similar to Top Shot. All you had to do was confirm your email. And then there was no protocol between sharing the link. So people would get their link, share to friends, and apparently like people were getting 15 horses and some people and like 98% of people didn't get any horses. So it was a massive fail. I was at dinner when my wave was up, so I didn't even get a chance to buy the horses. The prices are up. They sold out. But yeah, I mean, just a very porous drop. And I think what sucks is, you know, it sucks, but it's also like funny to me is like, it was probably so like there was so much planning that went into it, and they've taken in TopShot drops and all these different drops, and like they thought they figured it out, and it was just like terrible execution. I really think if you're going to do a drop in this day and age, put out the plan and then just let the users figure out like how they're going to hack it, and then just figure out like the new plan. Like I would bluff the initial plan.
Yeah, I mean, well, personally, I'm shocked considering that the drop previous that I participated in, they manually approved every single transaction. It's insane to me that they had a hard time with their newest transaction with even more demand. That's
right,
crazy.
exactly.
Your taxes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Jack,
drop,
what's the like high overview for someone like me who have a couple horses, I did my Genesis race, know nothing else. Like what should people be getting excited about these drops? Are they still the good entry point? Like what is the way for people to get involved if they are interested in Zed?
So I think once again, it's one of those situations, wait till breeding reopens, whenever that is. And you'll be able to, you know, there'll be an insane amount of horses that are up for sale. Right now, everyone who bought in the drop is trying to price it 2x their money, you know, in one night. Dingaling did somehow end up with like 13 to 15 Z1 Genesis horses, of course. He's the GOAT. But for someone like you guys, I mean, not you guys, for any, you know,
no, you
any
can say
us,
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
My interest hasn't been
Yeah.
piqued by Zed. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Should I be buying more horses? Should I be racing my 2 horses? What should I be doing?
Yeah, so I really think it's a 1%er game in terms of investment, right? You hold your Z1s and hope that they turn out to be good racers or breeders. But for the 99% of people, I think like if you only spend $500, could you win a $500 race, you know, at a $25 entry? Sure. And I think that's the entertainment factor to it all. So I'd be racing pretty much anything that's not like top tier. And I think that's what's super appealing. And if they do execute on a bunch of their ideas, which is like, imagine race, you know, you get to enter even if it's the Kentucky Oaks 19th level in the metaverse, like that's a really cool experience to say that's my horse with an opportunity to potentially win money. So I think that's where the majority of people are probably intrigued. But yeah, I wouldn't be buying like Z4, you know, second editions, trying to flip them for $2,000 because there's going to be so many horses out there, and the majority of them are going to be kind of shitty horses.
Yeah. Here's actually another good NFT topic before Ros joins us here. The Gary Vee drop. It seems like he was having some technical issues, had to postpone it, and then it seemed like there was some more stuff. Does anyone know? Did it actually go live today? Finally?
It did. It did go live. They're doing Dutch auction with a floor though, which I thought was interesting. He sent out a tweet, the market is the market. I love Gary Vee. It's like that was like who I listened to in high school and a lot of college. Big supporter of his stuff.
So like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, pretty much. No,
Jack
but
is not happy with that comment. Not happy.
No, my one take on it is, so I think the art, whether or not you think it's good, I think it's cool that it's personal to him. But I think he went too far utility. He went so far utility that the only aspect of it was accessing utility. And then when you price it out and you set the floor at like 5 ETH for, you know, a FaceTime or his convention, and people only see it as that, right? Because it's not going to be a tradable thing. I think that's a ton of the appeal of NFTs, is being able to trade out of them. But once you kind of redeem it, then it loses a lot of, you know, what it's worth. So We can see both sides of it now. You have the athletes who went cash grab, who just released their NFTs and shit, and then you see Gary Vee, who I actually think he went too far utility. You know, the perfect synergy. Like, I think a Gary Vee coin would have been very, very interesting. Something that's in the ecosystem that can be redeemed, it can be bought, it can be sold. Kind of trade on him as almost if he's a stock. Someone in the chat says it is tradable. I don't know the aspects of the trading. Yeah, he makes 10%. Yeah, but I don't understand. Like, if it redeems your entry to VCon for 3 years, I guess you could trade after the first year. But then people are just going to price a ticket, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting.
I wonder if he was a bit of a victim of the ETH rise as well, right? Like, he's been working on this for a long time. When he was setting his floor prices, whatever he was shooting for, like a 5 ETH that he set 2 months ago is a hell of a lot different than a 5 ETH now.
Totally. And I think right, he was, a bunch of his promotion was just teaching people what a MetaMask is. So if you're teaching people who are in USD, they're not noticing that kind of shift, right? But it feels like he could have easily adjusted that if that's true, right? If you set your prices that I'm really trying to do 5 ETH because it's 10K, then just move it down to 2.5 ETH or whatever. I don't think that diminishes your product.
No, I actually have a friend who did an NFT drop who's ready to lower the price of some of his NFTs. You know, just a friend. So yeah, it's tough out there. I know how that goes.
Who's he referring to? I don't even know.
Mans. So I think with Gary Vee, it's an interesting project in that. Hold on, are we bringing Ros in before I? Okay, that was not.
No.
Okay. All right, just cut me off when we're bringing Ros in. So I like the idea of
so quick.
Yeah, so quickly, please. I like the idea of what Gary Vee did with the NFTs. I think there are some positives and some negatives. The positives for the crypto and NFT community at large are it introduces a lot of people who aren't familiar with NFTs and MetaMask and Ethereum and blockchain technology to this world. He priced everything in ETH. He didn't give an opportunity to pay in US dollars or credit cards or anything like that. He could have taken the TopShot route where he accepted ETH or US dollars, which I think is good. And what I also like is he took an existing community that has demand for his services and access to him, and he gave a greater level of opportunity for people who are willing to pay to access him at different levels. So we have, the base packages, you have the FaceTime packages, you have the courtside ticket packages, you have the lunch with Gary Vee packages. And, typically it's, you go to the conference and, maybe there is some other packages and maybe you could do an auction for him, but the NFTs allow him to better define his community. And if he wants to directly reward his community, he can suddenly airdrop everyone who holds one of his NFTs something. Before that, it's really, really difficult to show and prove that you are kind of part of this community, that you are a member, and it acts as a membership card. And so I think the art itself is, Jack, you said it exactly right, that it's kind of makes it more personal. It's him. It's Gary Vee's expression of his personality. No one's touting him as the next big artist of the world, but there's something nice about the fact that it was personal to him. He put in efforts on those. It's his little kind of pet project that he's been teasing for a while, which is good. And so I'm excited about the project. The one negative I would say is that I don't think there should be floors on the auctions. I think that if he wants to represent it as something where the true market price will be found, you have to let it run down to zero or near zero. And if he wants to extend the time and make it a Dutch auction that takes a month to run down to give it a better opportunity to sell, fine. If he wants to do a slow drip release where it's 5% a week for the next 20 weeks, also fine. But I just feel like the fact that there's a floor on the Dutch auction makes it not the purest of Dutch auction. So I think it's good in a lot of ways, but that's one aspect that I didn't love about it.
Yeah. And I think what it does, I mean, this could be personal or it could be factual. I don't know. Every time, and we've seen a bunch of people set floors on stuff, or they're going to earn if it doesn't cross a certain amount. It just seems like it kills. It's like saying, I'm not confident this is going to sell, right? And that's a bad look for them, but it's also a bad look for the people who did buy it at that price, if like two, whatever, I don't know what they're called, eager otters sell for 5 ETH, but then like 8 of them don't even reach because it was just like the 2 super fan. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't love that.
Hang on, while I was gone, did someone say slow jerk release? Because that's
I liked that.
Who said that?
Who said that?
That was Mr. MBL.
What? I did not say that.
He said
slow drip, slow drip.
I'm not sure it's any better, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's
a slow drip.
Some rocket level.
Oh man,
this is jerk release.
Oh man, woo! All right, we're gonna need an NSFW tag on the first hour and a half of this.
Yeah, normally I say save it for the show. Save it for after the show, Mike.
Steph, come on! Just because I'm on Team MGLE, you got to do me like that? Come on.
Yeah, no.
Oh, come on.
I'll say I don't. Go ahead.
Roll back the tape. Go ahead, Andy.
I was just say I haven't had a ton of time to like look at or think about the pricing and stuff. But to people, I've seen like random people on Twitter saying, "Oh, it's just a cash grab because he's famous and wants to make some money on NFTs." I've spent a lot of time speaking with AJ and some of the other people on the team who are working on this, and I feel extremely confident that this is not just a cash grab, and like they feel very, very strongly about what they're making, and that it's gonna be like a big part of kind of their brand going forward. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on any of like the Dutch auction pricing or anything because I haven't really had time to look into it.
I really agree with that. I think people were paying for the conference already. I'm not sure what the conference ticket entry price was, but I don't know if it was materially above what they're asking here. People already were paying for access to them, and this is just a better version of access to them. And you get an NFT that, look, should this community build and grow strong and have new people join it in the future, Genesis VCon ticket for an NFT. There's 10,000 of them. Could hold significant historical value, years down the line if this thing continues to grow the way it does, and continue to have slow jerk releases.
There you go. That's how you lean into a bit, Mike. You're learning. And I will say, I mean, you can probably quibble with how they did it, but I don't think you can ever question Gary Vee putting work into what he's doing or half-assing something. I mean, that guy goes all in on everything he does. So it was a lot of work, regardless of whether you like it or not. Oh my goodness!
Whoa!
Who do we got here?
Whoa!
What's this guy's name?
Luna. This is
Luna.
Luna.
Oh, so are we going to the moon? Is that what that means? It's a signal.
Jennings is in here. He loves Luna tokens.
She's shy. Should we get Luna coin? I'll get
Luna on Terra.
Hi, Luna. Wow.
She's camera shy.
That's all right.
Camera shy.
There you go. All right. Ros is going to be joining us soon. She was trying to kick down the doors to the club about an hour ago. And now she's running fashionably late, which she deserves to be. Let's transition into some TopShot talk because we do have the Throwdown packs. We're going to open some of those later. But they launched their collector's score. We were all having some fun with that. It seems like it's going to be their kind of new metric for determining eligibility for pack drops. Who knows what other kind of utility they assign to the collector score? Where are you guys at with how that shook out? It seemed a little better than just kind of the arbitrary X amount of moments types of packs that you needed to become eligible for drops.
So I had a few takeaways. My number one takeaway, which I found kind of exciting, is that they had a different category for promo moments, which had a little asterisk tied to it and said, what is this camera thing you're doing?
I'm adjusting my camera, Mike. I'm a professional here. I don't like myself out of focus.
Got it. And so to me, that suggests that more. They had a little star that said this represents the gift right now, and I don't think they would make an entire separate category in the collector score if it was only going to ever be the gift. And so I think that
you just got interrupted by the baby.
Gracie, we weigh 11 pounds now. 11
hey,
pounds.
Gracie.
Say hi.
Hey, Gracie.
Hi,
How was your bath?
Boys, we're on fire. Great bath.
Gracie says, My dad is doing everything he can.
Yeah, do they do this?
Exactly right. I was normally the ladies have been on it. Tonight, I guess, did exactly right. Right, Gracie?
Do you think Pete's share will get Gracie alien CryptoPunk shoes? Because that would be nice.
Yeah, that's right. For the shoes, can you pick your size?
That's true. All right, I'll be right back.
So what I'm saying was, so there's a category for promo moments. There's like a different category in the collector's court, just promo moments. To me, that suggests that there are a lot more promo moments coming, and they are working and striving toward being able to better define what makes a collector. And when they do, they're going to reward those collectors. And so that was my kind of key takeaway from the collector score calculation. Obviously, they're also trying to distinguish between challenge moments and non-challenge moments, and adding some sort of premium for Series 1 over Series 2. But my takeaway there was it'll be a premium for Series 2 over Series 3 and Series 3 over Series 4. And they're going to, kind of stagger the value of these series. And I think for me, that's an exciting thing, because up until now, I've, sort of questioned whether or not Series 2 will hold much more value than Series 7, 8, 9, or 10, whatever it is. Series 1 is Genesis. Kind of what is Series 2? And this is TopShot signaling to us that they will offer some sort of benefits to Series 2 or some sort of premium to Series 2 in the form of the collector score. And I think there's a long way to go on it. It doesn't capture activity in any way or challenges completed or a lot of other aspects. But it's a good start, and I think they plan on massaging it and improving it and jerking it over the next few months. That's the last one, I promise.
No, Mike, I'm honestly just laughing at how I'm so proud of you. How you would not have made that joke 2 months ago. No chance in hell. You have evolved
in his comfort zone
as a cast member on this show, and because we've got lots of comments about Andy. Andy's gotten in the past month incredibly funny on this show, and now tonight was your breakout party.
What?
Speaking of breakout party, we got Ros Gold. What's up, Ros?
What's up, y'all? What's up, Club?
Hey, Ros.
Hey.
Dude, hold on real quick.
What's up? Uh-oh.
Just wants to see her YSL bag. See how it is.
We've seen a baby and a dog. Let's see what comes next.
Yeah. Andy, don't let your girlfriend see that bag. She's going to want one.
That was actually her birthday present was a YSL bag. So
there we go.
The ship has sailed.
Is that a tax write-off?
No, I don't think so. I honestly have no fucking idea.
Ron!
Let's go. All right. On that note, let me go.
All right.
I'll be back.
Give me a sec.
I can't let you show me up.
Club TopShot.
All right, they're gonna go get drinks. Look at this, Roz. You got me in trouble on Twitter saying "let me into the club." I'm like, Roz has the link. She knows what time she told me she was gonna come on. Everyone's like, "You're not letting Roz into the club." I'm like, I want Roz in the club.
I know it's very hard to get in, and normally I'm not cool enough to get in. I thought I knew people at the door. Maybe a hassle. It's always Big Mo at the door doing too much. He was like, "Yo, what's your Meebit? Can you get in?" I was like,
I mean, we pay Big Mo big money, and he does a really good job. But sometimes he keeps our VIPs out. I'm sorry about that confusion.
It was crazy. I really was outside. I was definitely like the guy on the phone meme, I was like, no, Jack knows me for sure.
Were you sweating this CryptoPunks auction earlier?
I wasn't sweating it, but I was, just curious about what would happen. Obviously as someone who's part of the community, I am excited to see how the auction, went down and how it did. How did you guys think it do? I mean, again, I would like to first, for those who are new to me, I'm more than a beginner, but I'm still very new and learning in the space. I'm slightly more comfortable than I was last time I was here. But what did you guys think? I know you guys are way more experienced, or Jack, I know you are in the space.
Don't throw it to Jack.
Jack.
Raz and I have a special event on Thursday.
Oh,
we're meeting up in person.
Really? What are you guys doing? Just hanging?
No, we got a video shoot. More details to come. But yeah, The two guys who just disappeared off the screen may have more info on what they thought about the auction, but I was pretty shocked that it only went for 14.5 because just the amount of bids that came so quickly. But yeah, it felt like they rushed it, like it wasn't even part of the thing. And then someone said it was supposed to like 81 mil later in the auction, so it was crazy.
I also thought it was a good reminder because sometimes we're in an echo chamber on Twitter. We follow a lot of ETH, CryptoPunk, NFT people. They were inferring that this was going to soar past, $20 million. It didn't get there. And it was a good reminder of like, okay, we are in an echo chamber with some of this stuff at times.
But guys, I mean, it went for just under 15. And I feel like a lot of people were saying like 15 to 20 would be reasonable. And anything beyond that would probably be super bullish. Like, these are still, for most people who don't necessarily understand what this is, for this to be in Christie's and then have that kind of acceptance, 9 punks went for more than $1 million something each. That's pretty impressive. I think, when you think of, and also these are punks that are out of 10,000, like when you think of Beeple, like that was a 1 of 1, right? Like, so I feel like this is solid. This is nothing to sneeze at. I remember when I first saw the pictures of CryptoPunks, I was like, what the hell is that? And then once you understand, when you decide that it's important to get a CryptoPunk or be a part of that community, it's because of the historical significance and the community. It's a really engaged, active community. And then, beyond that, there's a lot of like utility that's starting to show up with it, or starting to. So
for sure. And Ros, I saw you had a tweet. I think it was just yesterday or 2 days ago. You've been buying the dip on TopShot. Obviously, TopShot, the market is kind of at an all-time low. People think we might be at the bottom, but it sounds like you're still bullish here on accumulating your TopShot portfolio.
I mean, isn't this a TopShot show? Are y'all not, still supportive?
It's debatable sometimes. No, we are.
Right. No, I mean, so I feel like for me, it's just, continuing. First and foremost, I've always said I've been enjoying like the idea of putting together a cool collection. So I've always been thoughtful about the purchases I make. I try to grab packs when I can get them. And then I try to hit the market when I feel like there's, holes that I want to hit, especially while there's dips. There's, moments that I couldn't have gotten before that I'll get now. I also think about this too. Like when you think about people who are winning now with like ETH or Bitcoin or, other collections, there's that moment of having conviction. There's, especially in crypto, like from what I've seen so far, there's no straight paths. So you want to be a winner, but are you really that person that when there was a huge dip or when there was blood in the streets, that you held on, you at least at minimum held or hodled, and at max decided to have enough conviction to keep buying in at these low prices? Like not everybody's that brave or has that much belief. And those will be the winners, that come out big if there should be another rise. But at minimum, I feel like I'm just having fun and they're like, enhancing the community aspects of it. What about y'all?
That was a great opening, Ros. Really, really great arrival here. Before we get to TopShot, because we don't really talk about TopShot here, one quick question for you. If you could say anything to the winners of the punk auction tonight, what would you say? If you could say anything.
Congrats.
If they were listening, what would you say?
Congrats. Welcome to the family. Hopefully your punk still has a Meebit token to it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's actually a really good
question. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Because I mean, these Christies punks have presumably been locked up for a while. Were they gifted or whatever, put on auction from Larva Labs? Like who gave those to Christies?
I can check right now if they have the.
I don't know if you can check anymore because it's beyond the community grant phase.
Oh yeah, maybe we're not gonna.
What do you mean we, Andy?
Yeah, what do you mean when you say we?
The general public who would potentially own these.
Ros putting 2 and 2 together. It's happening.
Wait, no, I'm starting to recognize like all of you guys from social media.
No.
So I'm like, oh wait, okay. Hi, Peter. Have we formally said hello in this space?
Not in the club, that's for sure. So, and what an entrance! And yeah, I mean, you were talking about conviction, hodling, not having paper hands. And I see Mans over there, Pete over there in the corner, kind of, doing some eye rolls. I mean, you a seller over there, Pete? Like, are you not?
Are you kidding? Can you imagine me selling my fifth of a CryptoPunk and having to get rid of the art that I had commissioned to put around my house? Ros, what we're inferring to is Pete and Andy may have slipped that they are part of a shady conglomerate who actually won the Christie's CryptoPunk auction tonight.
Wow, you guys are such big ballers, dude. Like,
not all of us, just those two. Just those two.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. So you were in on the auction. You got this piece of history.
They're not telling us shit, Ross.
Oh, okay.
We've been trying to crack this nut all night. It's not happening.
So it was I was under the impression that we were not going to talk about who won, and then Peter may have had a little bit of a snafu, and that ship has sailed. But I think that
I'm just trying to lay low now.
So I just need to know, like, from each person, one, were you overwhelmed? Were you solid, overwhelmed, or underwhelmed with the punk auction at Christie's? Just what do you think?
I'll go solid. I'm going solid.
I'm going solid.
I was personally underwhelmed. If I would have won it, I might have been overwhelmed.
Right. No, I think the purchase price was a value deal. I'm looking to get in at a 15.5 million valuation if anyone's willing to take some off the table. I got $20.
I think there was a relatively famous guy with a lot of followers on Twitter who was taking a line at 20 million and he was betting the under. I probably going into it would have bet the over, but I feel pretty good about just about 17 million with the Christie's fees and everything. Thinking about it more, I wish it had gone for more in terms of Ethereum, but also it's really just hard to keep up with Ethereum right now because Ethereum is going so crazy. End of the day, punks being in front of Christie's, like next to Basquiat's and all these other prestigious things, and going for 15 million is just like so cool. Even outside of the punks themselves, it's just like such a weird timeline to be a part of. So that's awesome.
Andy, who are the people who bid on the punks? Are they like regular physical world art buyers, or are they weirdos like us in the crypto space? Who are they?
To my knowledge, and obviously I don't know everyone who was bidding, most of the bidders were pretty crypto savvy people.
Okay.
I spoke to a few people who have a lot more money than I do who were bidding on this thing by themselves or with a much smaller, a very small group, and they are generally crypto people. But I don't know. There were a lot of bids that came in very quickly at the beginning. I don't really know who those were coming from.
And that makes sense, right? We've seen a lot of NFT drops fail from mainstream people because they don't have the hardcore ETH crypto user base to kind of support that. There might be people who would be interested in it if they could use their credit card to bid on them, but they're not. And I think to be willing to spend 15 million on CryptoPunks, like, you have to be pretty embedded into the crypto and ETH space to be captivated enough to spend that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, I think also like just the visibility, the exposure of this, the storytelling around it. I mean, the legacy and heritage to even be included in a space like that, especially after the success of like people. And I mean, it's just major. And guys, I feel like the only way this could have been a loss for the entire NFT space, and even still, but if it was underwhelming, like to come out and be on target. Do y'all realize how early this time is? And for punks to hold up to what people at minimum expected in a space that is not home for them, I think is a really great showing. I mean, of course it'd be better if it was exponential, but I mean, this is really solid. We're just getting started here.
I would say we're not even in a locker room. We're on the bus, just slapping each other's asses before the game even starts. Ross,
I mean, imagine there's pieces of art in there that are thousands of years old. You know, this thing. How old is the project? Like 3 years old, or 2, or something, like 3 years, like 4 actually. But that's so young, and to bring this in, I mean, we're still building its significance.
What? I feel like you've been no. Well, I was just gonna say you've been quick to move into this stuff. I remember early on you had the hash mask avatar, you had the CryptoPunks, you've been building your TopShot portfolio. What is exciting you right now? Because I feel like what happens to a lot of people, we see this mania, euphoria around certain projects, then the hot new thing comes around and people move on. What is exciting you right now?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, a lot of these projects are being built on ETH, on Ethereum blockchain. So I feel like, with the price skyrocketing too, I'm not just giving mine away that easily at this point. Like, I used to use ETH like it was like I exchanged it, out of my wallet like dollars in the way I still think very much in dollar mode, but it was just like currency I spend. And now at the prices it's out now, I'm like, whoa, I've changed my mindset. Like I have some that is just a store of value I'm holding. I believe that there's more to do here. And I actually got into the crypto space, like most people, trying to find some Bitcoin. And when I got to the Bitcoin, I was like, yo, what's Ethereum? And then I've learned a lot more since then. But now that I've been like here, I find that, I use Ethereum a lot. So there is a lot of functionality around this. And then you start to read about it and I'm like, oh, okay, there's a real use case here. So there's more to do. And I think it's improving. Like I'm still figuring it out and learning, but so that's why things like Ethereum, or even I think in the future, I'm keeping an eye on what Flow could do once it becomes more available to everybody. But I think finding blockchains like that and coins like tokens like that are going to be valuable. But to come back to the NFTs, so I have a little fun here and there aping into things. Like I aped into the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I just saw it was super fun. It was kind of cool. And I actually got one from Jimmy 1 ETH. And
awesome.
And big in the space. And so I went into a Clubhouse room and dude, people were legit in there. There was a guy in the Clubhouse room who was playing beautiful music. I know that these are all people that a lot of y'all know really well. I don't know him personally, but I think Bomani X. And so just such beautiful music, and I was like, ooh. And so I really got enjoyed the community. They were super engaged and a lot of fun and willing to be silly. And I already hold 2 punks, but my main one that's kind of my avatar is a punk that is an athlete. She's got a headband. My first punk didn't relate to me that much. She related a little bit, but this one really did. She's got an athlete band. She's got an earring, so she's an athlete. She's got an earring, and she's got a little bit of makeup on, so she's a reporter, broadcaster. She can, she's versatile.
And it's matching the headband and the eyeshadow. I think that's dope.
She's put together. So yes, that's my avatar. And so she's fly, she got her jewelry, she got her matching fit, all of that. And she's a Black girl and I'm a Black girl. And so I liked her. And so kind of there's so much energy and fun around the apes community and the bored apes community. And I think part of it too is people are looking for something that they can get excited about, that has, plans for utility, that has cool artwork, that has thought out execution, design, and even a rating scale, ability to use data and say which is more rare or special than another, and also at a price point they can get in at. Punks are are very hard for most people. So I feel apes was something that people could get in on early if they were there and build together. So I met this other artist in the space, Dario Da Silva. So bring up that picture I sent you. Yeah. Dario Da Silva, he's from Switzerland. He's a dope artist. He's super engaged in the NFT community. And I found out about him through my friends in the space. And he combined the Bored Ape Yacht Club design with my punk and gave it the punk design. So it's a board. It kind of looks like a auntie that won't put up with stuff.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to shout out Dario Da Silva, who's making these like Third Eye Bored Apes punk collaborations, and he made it like I actually bought this from him, and it was super cool. I saw he gifted it to Alan Henna, and I was like, that's dope. So like these are the things, like that's something that I'll go for, because I like the communities. I'm investing in communities at this point. If I put the money out, and then places I already have stacked my flag in the sand. So like continuing to, last thing I'll say here, none of this means anything if you don't continue as a community to engage in it. Like you can't expect any of the NFTs or projects that you care about to still have value in the long term if you get pissed off and walk away. Like you absolutely get out what you put in. So it can't just be while things are up that you're that you're in Clubhouse or on Twitter talking about it. It can't just be at the very beginning and then it fades. You've got to commit to it if you really want to see this have long-term value.
That's awesome.
Should we talk NBA TopShot then for a show that's named after TopShot that rarely talks TopShot?
We need to.
I went with Ja Rule. I thought that was so cool.
Oh man, I missed
he was unbelievable.
I hope he's doing well.
That was major.
That was fantastic. Did you watch? Did you watch the Laden Thinks we did with him about the Fruit Loops?
I didn't see it, but I saw y'all got Ja Rule.
Okay.
I retweeted the hell out of it. I was like, oh,
all right. He was awesome.
He was great. Yeah. No, I mean, that we are theoretically a Top Shot show. We were talking about collector score earlier. Are you still going after packs regularly? Did you get in the queue for the Throwdown pack?
I'd like to take this moment to pick a bone and publicly shame the Jack Settlement Q text.
Okay, let's go. Publicly
I am
shaming
here
Jack
for this.
Settlement is my
I'm
number
here for
one
this.
hobby. Go off, King.
I was ready at 2 p.m. Pacific. I was ready. I was like, let me engage. I'm here. I'm set up. I put money into my Dapper account. And so obviously they pushed it back. And then I was totally like in my mind, like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. And then I get a text from Jack 7 minutes after it closed. And I texted back to it. I never text back. I texted, Jack, I was counting on you. I went in just in case. And I was too late. And I was so mad. Like, I was like, damn, I missed it. But
so
bullshit tech service.
Here's the explanation.
Yeah.
Number one, okay, so I scheduled a workout. I was going to a workout at 6 Eastern. And so it was going to give plenty of time, the 5 o'clock drop. And then they moved it to 7. So when they moved it, I sent the text, don't forget to join the queue, knowing that people would still need the text. So I got out of the class at 6:56 and sent a text. And I pay $1,000 a month to use this service.
You pay how much?
What?
Yeah, it's not.
What are you getting from it, Jack? What do you get out of this?
Apparently nothing. No, it's not just for Top Shot. It's just Top Shot. The pack reminder is just one segment of it. I use it for all the things I do, snapback and such. But I did send the text at 6:57, and then it comes through 10 minutes later.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, so what am I paying for? Because their whole pitch is don't worry about the algorithm. You get your own notification system. And it's 10 minutes later. What is this even worth it? So yeah, my major dilemma was because I knew Pete was in my head. I'm not gonna lie, it was in my head. And I knew if I sent the text early,
living rent free in the head.
If I said listen, I'm going to be in a workout, that it would be way worse than anything else. Because so I just went for it. I got the text out, but community texting platform owes me some dignity.
No, I'm gonna give you grace, man, and I just appreciate seeing your name in my phone. I feel special. I will, however, probably put Steph Pseudo back on notifications on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
That seems smart. Yeah, I respect that.
I had her on notifications, and then for a second I took her off, but then I'm putting it back on.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'll still be there for everyone else.
I think I need to launch a text service is what I'm kind of hearing right now. So Raj, you didn't get a pack because Jack's text service let you down?
Honestly, I don't want to put it all on Jack.
Yes, you should.
But I needed that reminder, Jack. I needed help. My day got busy and you weren't there. And I got the text from you. I was like, oh, but you've been there for me many other times. And sometimes you explain what things mean in your text, so that's helpful too.
And some positive messaging that normally comes with it, right? That bring the energy.
Yeah, I think sometimes you should send this wish us a good day, remind us that we're powerful.
Well, so one of the functionalities of community is they tell you when it's someone's birthday. So I've done that not by accident. I just say hey, happy birthday. And I get more responses of yo, what the fuck? How do you know? Versus
how many people are subscribed?
Jack,
just a few.
I'm just telling you. So my birthday's on June 15th. I'm just letting you know you can't win either way. If you don't send me a text, I'm going to be offended. And if you do send me a text, I'm going to be very angry. So
maybe I'll just send you a personal text.
That'd actually be nice, Jack.
Okay.
Let's see here. The chat is definitely ready for a new tech service, Jack. You need to step it up. One thing that was a topic of conversation about this Throwdown pack, I saw the first mint talking about it. The conversation has been, is this the first negative EV pack drop? I actually haven't even seen the market prices on it right now. I haven't opened my Throwdown pack. Do we have our NBA TopShot thought leaders? Do we have a take on this? Has this been a negative EV pack so far?
I haven't run the numbers on it. It's hard to determine right now because the huge outlier upside moments haven't really sold yet, and so it's hard to determine the EV without knowing what the number one Morant, number one Zion, number one Anthony Edwards sell for, because those have a huge weighting on the upswing. I think that what we did learn is that the worst pack was not profitable, which is a change from what it used to be. It used to be no matter what pack you opened, it was a guaranteed profit. And as anyone who read all 25 tweets of my thread knows, I'm quite excited about this concept. And the reason is there are a lot of people on Twitter now basically saying, oh, maybe I should have not purchased the pack. I should just go to the market instead. Oh, these aren't guaranteed profit anymore. I'm out. And I think these are all good things. We don't want the people on the platform who just buy the packs and immediately sell the moments for profit. We want people to have a reasonable reason to go to the marketplace and not just wait for packs. For a long time, it made no sense to go to the market and buy from the market. It only made sense to wait for packs. And I think it's nice to see some people say, crap, I'm not going to buy packs anymore. Maybe this doesn't make sense. I don't want to roll the dice. I'd rather just buy what I want to buy. And I think that's a healthy thing. Whereas before it was just play pack lotto and no reason to go to the marketplace. And so I think that a lot of people who bought this hoping they could just flip it the way they have before will kind of sit there and say, hey, I lost money here. And either I'm out if that's the only reason I was here before, or hang on that, this is a new thing that we're looking at where, it's actually like opening a regular pack of cards where you can get good packs, you can get bad packs. And the marketplace is suddenly more interesting again. So I know a lot of people view it as frustrating that it's no longer free money, but I think it's healthy for the overall ecosystem, the overall environment. And I think a lot more people were able to get this pack than previous packs because it wasn't as obviously attractive. And when it's obviously attractive, you have 100% of eligible people trying to get the pack. Whereas this pack, I think some people did genuinely pass on the pack and say, hey, I don't think it's worth it. So more people who wanted the pack were able to get it.
There you go.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Right? I think the packs that we've talked extensively about this, but they should be pretty neutral relative to investing your money in the marketplace or whatever else with a lottery type payout. So a lot of the packs will be negative EV or end up not EV, but end up being worth less than what you paid for. But sometimes you might pull a great pack with a great moment where you hit really big, and that's a sustainable ecosystem. So I'm with everything Mike just said, and I think it's a healthy thing long term.
Real quick, I was just checking in on Twitter, and someone's wife or girlfriend was sending Peter Jennings messages. It's his birthday. It's a fan of Club TopShot. It is Dylan Cassidy. We all want to wish you a happy birthday. We know you're very embarrassed right now, but your wife was doing your bidding for you on Twitter, and she said you're a big fan of the club. So Dylan, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a fan of Club TopShot.
Happy birthday, Dylan.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
Cheers, Dylan.
Happy birthday. Roz, are those just for sure? You're going to drink those?
What are you going to drink those, Roz?
How tacky is this? This one's covered in tinfoil.
I love that. No, that
not
is
tacky. It's easy
amazing.
access.
Previously opened. Oh my goodness. No, happy birthday. So it's Dylan's birthday, or
it's Dylan. I guess we're gonna figure out how much we're willing to embarrass him. I think we should embarrass him. I'm gonna pull up this. So Alexa, I believe it's his wife or girlfriend. She sent a DM to Peter, which Peter didn't respond to because he's not allowed to respond to random girls in his DMs.
Wait, can you please read the first sentence?
I will. Hello, my guy.
Period.
Full disclosure, I have no idea who you are, but my boyfriend follows you and Ashley religiously. It's his birthday today, so I'm wondering if you either have a Cameo account. Can you imagine Peter with a Cameo account? So I can buy him a message, or I can PayPal you a predetermined amount of money to have a 50 to 20 minute Zoom call to talk about NFTs. Trust me, you don't want this call with Pete. This is selfish of me because much like your wife, I'm his only person to talk to about them in real time, and I am ready to strangle him.
That is a fantastic message.
That is sweet. That is loving.
Bitcoin launching soon. Access to Zoom or one FaceTime with Gracie.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yes, and he's a good man. He isn't responding to no ladies in the DMs. Love to see it.
Yeah.
There's been a couple dangerous DMs.
Pete, you dodged the crypto babe bullet too, right?
Yeah, that
one was like, this is a landmine, you know? Don't step on it.
Yeah. You can't delete a DM, Pete. That's one you can't delete.
You can't delete a lot of things, I'm learning.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh my god! No, I think Pete's referring to his CryptoPunks slip. But I mean, Harala Bob's on Twitter taking victory laps. You're fine, Pete. You're fine.
Oh, is he?
Guys, I wanted to ask about the EV conversation really quick because I'm like myself, I'm still trying to understand some aspects, like technical aspects of the marketplace. So at first, I used to be annoyed with sometimes getting packs with like moments I didn't care about, right? And so I just kind of wanted to like almost get them off my hands at some point. And I really was someone who would go to the marketplace and get what I wanted if I, couldn't catch the pack. But now because of the trade aspects, the trade tickets, we want to collect as many moments as possible, especially ones we don't want now. Is that the case?
I'd say the incentive right now, strictly based on how it is right now, is unless it's the cheapest of cheap moments, then it's probably not the best thing to trade for a ticket. So if you have a $7 moment and you don't want it, theoretically, there's a lot of factors here, but if you don't want it, you should sell it and buy 3 $2 moments, and then you get 3 tickets instead of 1. So unless it's the worst of the worst moments, if you don't want it in your collection, you're probably still better off selling it again, unless it's the floor moments, theoretically. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out like how to actually play the game and all the different things they're doing because I feel like every like drop and stuff there has been requirements, and I just want to make sure like I'm ready for the requirements. Like I think like maybe completing a challenge, which I've done one, but like will I need to have more? Like I don't know. So I'm like, man, I hope I'm ever not eligible, but I've always been eligible so far. So
yeah, I've been in talks with Dapper where we're just gonna do pack drops, and the only clickable link will be through my text messages. So make sure to say subscribe. Yeah, I haven't been following the trade tickets at all. I don't really. There's so much new information that's coming out. The most exciting thing for me right now is the playoffs. I think we should talk about the playoffs. I mean, we got 3 or 4 regular season games left before the playoffs. does Andy, you've talked a lot about this, potentially, Michael Porter Jr. I think since you said his name, he's averaging like 42 points a game.
He's been awesome. And I've generally been a Michael Porter Jr.
Unbelievable.
hater. He's been really damn good.
Throw some more names out there. But do you think it'll trade similar? You guys were in it. I feel like you said, remind me, was it a bear or bull market last year during the playoffs, even though there were spikes in player performances?
I would say it was relatively, maybe slightly bullish. I don't think it was like really one way or the other super crazy, but again, like totally different time. It was 200 people trading in the marketplace. So like, I'm not sure how much value you can really discern from this. But I'm super excited for the playoffs. I mean, just in general, like I just love basketball, so I can't wait to watch the playoffs. And like I know personally, I'll be spending irresponsible amounts of money on the marketplace during the playoffs just because it's fun. But yeah, I at this point, like TopShot just feels so different to me from last year at this time that I have a hard time like really trying to gauge anything that's going to happen based on what happened last year. But I will have some fun trying to swing trade players who play well just because why not? But yeah, I don't know.
So one thing that we talked about on I was on the Own the Moment podcast last night. I'm a highly sought after guest these days, apparently. Yeah.
I'm the one who says you're a highly sought after guest. You're not allowed to say that about yourself, Mike.
Well, I thought I was like on fire tonight. I could like do that kind of stuff.
No, that was a heat check.
Are y'all's Twitter handles names, by the way? Because I definitely want to make sure I'm following. Is this your Twitter handles?
Yeah, mine is.
Okay.
Mine embarrassingly has an NFT after it, has an underscore, then an NFT, which I'm not proud of, but someone else someone else has MBL267, and so I had to add an underscore NFT, and I'm not proud of it. If anyone has any suggestions, I would change.
Don't follow Mike unless you're ready for 25 thread tweet storms about rent seekers.
One time.
Oh shoot! Wait a second. I was already following Andy8052. This is you in real life. This is
Shout out.
You've been doxxed.
I
don't have the mustache in my CryptoPunks.
Yeah. Did you expect the stash?
I think I often think people are their CryptoPunks, but you are a different human being, and that is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm happy
to be honest, I can't really grow facial hair, so my CryptoPunk's a little deceiving in that sense. I'm strictly a mustache guy for now. But...
Okay, here for it. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So the idea we were talking about last night, which I'd love to hear everyone's views on, is that I think a huge improvement to the platform and the ticketing idea, or the ticket system idea, is if instead of them repackaging the moments that were traded in for tickets, that they burn them instead. And I think burning does a lot of good things for the ecosystem and makes the ticket system a little higher stakes. I mean, as of now, it sounds like they're going to be rebound packs, where if you don't get the Series 1 packs in exchange for the ticket system, you get another pack that gives you back some of the crappier moments that were traded in for tickets. I also like the idea of it no longer being just the crappiest of the crappy moments get traded in for tickets. What we're talking about is over time, that assuming everyone's trading in the Bismack Biombo 35,000 edition size moments, eventually those will only have 12,000 left, and then suddenly it is no longer going to be the one that everyone trades in because it's suddenly rarer and the price goes up, and then suddenly everyone moves on to Ish Smith and then moves on to Jordan Clarkson, and then suddenly you might reach the point where those are so rare that there's 424 of those left that you might actually be burning a Giannis that's a 35,000 edition size, and it just adds dynamics to the marketplace. It improves the value of floor moments. It takes some moments out of circulation. It adds some strategy, and I think that it's a lot of fun and an interesting way for them to utilize the NFT technology.
Wow, who said that?
The group of us, myself and the podcast host. We were talking about it.
So I actually think, Andy, back just referring to that conversation about trading stuff, right? Like you're thinking about, like, what level of moments do you think we'll trade? I actually think we're at a great point where now every player is accessible to buy, sell, and trade, right? Like you can get a LeBron for $50 and that's the max. So I could see 20% kind of changes overnight. And Donovan Mitchell goes off for 50, Murray matches him. Those moments could go from 20 to $35 easily in the 35K range, which I think is super, super fun. I wish there was a way to bulk buy and bulk sell. That would be even more fun, but there's definitely, I think there'll be swings, which would be super fun to play with.
Yeah, I totally agree.
What about packs? Like, so I'm here just asking all my newbie
fire away
questions. But so, okay, I see people talking about saving their packs, which I think is so not fun and joyless. Recently, I was like, yo, like, I really think of my collection as a collection. I want what I want, so I'm kind of like, oh, I don't want to have to get something that I don't want and then have to be burdened with possibly selling it off or figuring it out. So I was like, maybe I'll hold. But then I saw somebody tweet something and I'm like, is this true? So because it's on the blockchain, and also there's so much information, you could eventually over time recognize how much of a certain moment is available or which numbers have been taken or which serials have been taken. So with the mystery of having that pack, sometimes people say, oh, the curiosity of what's in the pack could be worth more than what's in it. But wouldn't we over time possibly understand what's available? What do you think?
I have been banging this exact point for so long, and I feel like everyone says the other thing, and I completely agree. And I feel like I'm speaking to a wall. We know exactly what are in unopened packs, and so the allure of what is in them, and don't open packs because you never know what it could be, makes no sense. Because immediately, if you have unopened packs and people are holding them because they want to get the number 1 LeBron and the number 23 LeBron, and then those get opened, all of a sudden your packs are terrible. I completely agree. I am the only person who I speak to who agrees
both ways.
I fight this, Andy. We had a whole thing in Discord about this in October. Do you remember? I was on your side. I was like, this runs out of fun because we have so much information. I'm gonna try to find it.
Yes, and no. I think the advantage to what you're saying, you two, is that in the physical card world, no one's really tracking how many Luka Doncic RPAs are left in National Treasure boxes, or how many MJ. We don't know how many MJs, right? The sealed wax of his rookie year card, and we do here. But also, as more packs get opened of finals legendary, and the LeBron 23 still out there, then it only increases, and it makes it so much more exciting.
Interesting. Yeah.
And it's always a content play.
Yeah, well, so the bull case for don't open packs is the finals packs from last year. The legendaries finals packs from last year. The number 1 LeBron has not been opened. And so those every single one of those packs now is worth an insane amount more because they are on that LeBron is not opened. But the moment that the number 1 LeBron is opened, all of those packs are going to plummet in value. If I had finals legendary packs right now, I would be selling them at whatever I could, because at some point it's going to get open.
Isn't that Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who has those and they're unopened is crazy for not selling them.
So,
all right, can I do a screen share? We can do a throwback to September Discord.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see if I can get this working. Hold on. And then I'll respond to why I have some packs closed.
You save them for all the rappers that come on the show. That's what you say.
It's diversification. It's de-risking. Who knows what's going to be valuable in the future? Got to spread your options. Okay, hold on. Share screen. I don't think I need audio for this, but I'm going to check it just in case.
Yeah, just in case. You never know what kind of Discord screenshots have audio.
I mean, I was sending Mike a lot of inappropriate pictures back then. I was doing whatever I could.
Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yeah. Let me see if I can. I might go big screen here. That might help. Yeah, go for it. So you were writing monologues back in October. I'm not.
Oh yeah, you can't imagine.
We were having day-long arguments in the Discord.
There were like 6 people, so we were all just going back and forth. And so this was me saying, I mean, you can see I don't know. Is everyone going to read this? I don't want to read this all out loud.
I think try to like.
Can we get the Spark Notes version?
Yes. Okay. So basically, I say that there's a high level of information. You can calculate a much more accurate likelihood of pulling a certain moment from an unopened pack, which can affect pack's price. As an extreme example, if there are only 12 unopened packs, and both the Zion #1 and LBJ #1 have not been discussed, and this is before I understood that the blockchain means you don't have to actually talk about what was unveiled in the pack. You can actually see. And Veerman quickly corrects me down below. But basically, I just suggest that it might not be all that fun because you know exactly what's going to be in the packs. And so I'm on team Ros and Andy, and here is Veerman teaching me that the information can be found on CryptoSlam.
Let's show us an Andy message for back in the day. I want to see the 23-year-old chiming into the chat.
All right, let's see. I'm sure he's in here. Here, we can see some.
Please. I was a young 26 back then.
Here's Alan chiming in.
Wow, Andy, too busy developing.
Yeah, and Andy.
The conversation.
Andy just really busy. No time for. Here is where we can see the price. If you want to buy a full set of Cosmics back then, it was $22,000. If you wanted to buy all 54 hollows from Series 1, this is before the rewards were given out. It was $18,000.
Look at that. Search for an Andy comment.
All right.
Nah, you guys.
Andy, do you want any keywords here?
He just searched blockchain.
Oh, that was for me. That was
see what
to
I
get
have
to me.
going on.
All right, let's see. Do you like just a general Andy? Let's see the first message he put in.
Yeah, I want to see.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, let's see the Genesis.
It can't be high quality.
All right, here we go.
September
28th.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about when I joined.
Where are we? Here we go.
Andy was asking
how to get the drops just after MBL comments.
My very first ever message was when packs.
Yeah, when packs.
That's incredible. What page do we need to be on for the drop? The whole page or the packs page? Andy used to be one of us.
That's so sweet. You guys are so sweet and cute and hopeful and curious.
And then they turned into assholes, Ros.
Oh.
I tell you.
No, I like Mike's style. You're very thorough. You know, it seems like you're, you take it serious.
That is the nicest way to say he's long-winded. But isn't it just a game of deal or no deal with the packs?
Yeah.
Right? Pretty much?
Yeah.
It's just like almost leveraged gambling.
If you're voting, I would say it used to be you have to open your packs. Like as soon as you buy a pack, it opens automatically. I much prefer that overall. But given you can keep packs, I think that you might as well keep a few to see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, what about the fun of opening them? Like, it's still kind of hard to get them. You know.
That's the one thing that I don't appropriately value because when I open my packs, I just click show all and then go to the next one because I have a problem.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't understand a content play, Jack.
He doesn't. But Ros, I think that's why I hold some and that's why I open some is because I love doing it. But also, once you open them all you can do is just wait for the next, right? Like pack drop. So I do have some in inventory, which I think is fun because then I always have like a pack to open.
I have like 2 packs that I didn't open, maybe 2 or 3, and I feel like I was bullied into it. And I just want to open them.
Speaking of opening packs, a few things here. So we do have a club VIP Mike who is going to join us to open some packs, but I also know that Mike has to get up at 3 a.m. to practice tennis. Ros, I think you might have to go, so I just want to check in with everyone here. Real quick, Mike, are you gonna peace out here?
I'm going to jump. There's only room for one mic on the show, and it sounds like we got another one coming. So I'm going to go. I got to practice up for the Honeybee match. I'm getting up at 5:30 tomorrow morning for a nice early Central Park tennis session. Ros, really nice to meet you. I think the 45 minutes or so that you were on is a much better segment of the show than we were able to put out there for the first hour 15. You brought the heat. Good work. And everyone else, talk to you soon.
Thanks, Mike. We'll see you again. Good luck on the court.
Thank you.
And Ros, how are you looking? We're gonna probably open packs here for the next 10 to 15 minutes with our guest Mike. If you gotta go, completely understand. If you want to hang, you're more than welcome.
How fast could we open one pack?
So we're gonna bring on Mike from the Discord here. If you want to just stay for one pack and then peace out, that's more than fine.
Yeah, I'll hang for one pack opening. Let's rip a pack.
All right, Mike, you have the link. You should join us now. We'll bring you on here, Mike from the Discord. Who here has Throwdown packs? Should we raise our hands?
I didn't get one.
Jack, you should.
Did you queue up, Andy?
Hang on, Ros. What did you say? That Jack should give you yours? I agree.
He should gift it after he let us down that time. But it's
okay. Wait, time out. Andy, did you queue up? Yes or no?
No, but not because I didn't want to buy one. It was because there was like that whole issue where my collector thing wasn't right, and then I had to do work, and all of a sudden it was too late, and I missed it.
And I'm not even asking Jennings. I can see it in his face. We know he doesn't grind packs anymore. Disappointed.
I will say I was on the page trying to join the queue at like 4:45, and then all of a sudden it was 7:15, and I was like, ah, shit. I missed it back.
All right, Jack, share your screen.
I did think it was cool that Baron Davis was on the show. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Agreed. He's a legend. He's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Top Shot. That was a good get.
They've done an awesome job getting incredible hosts on that Top Shot pack drop stream. Guys like Baron Davis, like us. It's crazy. Yeah.
And really, my rankings are Baron Davis, Pete, Jack, every other NBA player. That would be my ranking.
All right. We got Mike from the Discord in the club. What's up, Mike?
Not too much. What's going on, fellas? Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers,
Welcome to the club. Mike hangs out with us in the club VIP Discord. You have a Throwdown pack to open with us tonight. We're going to open one pack right now, Jack's pack with Ros. We'll get Ros on her way, and we'll continue opening some Throwdown packs. Are you good for that?
Sounds good.
All right, Jack, I absolutely trust that you have audio shared on this.
Of course.
You're a pro. All right. Have we heard the Throwdown music? Do we know what we're in for right now?
I was listening to some Spaces pack openings last night, so I have heard it a little, but I don't know if I can recall it. But am I shared up right now? I am.
I think you're shared up. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Raj, you might have to pop that champagne. Little man on flute.
Oh, okay.
Davis Bertrand.
Davis.
That's a dunk. Jack's working on it. Wow. Okay. Jack's just ready to move through these. No milk.
He's trying to respect your time.
Harrison.
Top Shot legend. HB.
Oh, this is a sick moment.
Like a dope moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's a sick moment.
Future club Top Shot guest Harrison Barnes.
I know.
That's a good moment.
That's the one that Halliburton said.
They poured the one. Yeah.
Luca.
That'll work.
That's a nice bag. Luca exposure.
That's a sell. That's a sell. We don't hold anything for Ziggy.
Wow. Jack just
this is a nice pack so far.
Yeah.
Tomas.
Little international player with point guard action. Okay.
Oh.
Get up. Was that the Throwdown?
No, we haven't got to that yet.
Okay. This is an amazing pack, yo.
This guy.
Yeah, this is a good pack.
All this guy does is shooting contests against Snapchat influencers.
Man.
That's my guy.
Yo, isn't it crazy that the Nuggets are still winning without Murray?
That's right.
They've been so good. It's awesome.
Why is Murray? Nuggets would be
summer that Murray got hurt though.
Miami Heat. Where? 414. Victor Oladipo.
Nigeria! All my Nigerians stand up. Nigeria.
Look at that.
That is awesome.
That was a pretty good pack.
Yeah, that was really solid.
There you go, Jack. Were you plus EV on that pack?
It's not about EV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cheers. Hey, we want to
And
thank.
so, are you going to gift all those moments to Ros now or later?
Yeah, later.
Yeah, I'll do that. Cheers. I'm taking some Benadryl.
Benadryl? You're taking Benadryl by the bottle?
Children's Benadryl, of course.
Well, I mean, until you're above 18, you can only take the children's to be on the safe.
Yeah, exactly. How much should I take?
I think
I
you
don't
should probably read the label, and it'll say like the dosage, and then you take
Yeah,
that.
but
That's what I
normally my mom would do that for me. You know.
Ros, we want to thank you for joining us tonight, hanging out, talking CryptoPunks, talking NBA Top Shot. You have an open invite to the club. I will talk to the bouncer Mo. I will say Ros can walk into this fucking club whenever the hell she wants.
We can curse here?
You can.
Oh yeah, anything goes.
Shit.
way to really
I'll gift you. Actually, I think we have a potential wager on Thursday. Maybe we'll do it for the Throwdown pack.
Wait, that should be separate of the pack that I was.
Oh, you want a wager on top of me gift? Okay, all right. I see how it is.
Ros, let the people know. Obviously, we got you on Twitter. Where else should they be checking you out?
I'm the same thing every single social media platform. Rosgo21. ROSGO 21.
There you go. Check out Ros, all the good stuff. You just follow her profile picture for whatever the new hot thing is. In the NFT space.
I don't want to be that person.
No, we love it.
I feel like I'm picking my spots.
Amen. Well, we appreciate you joining us. Like we said, you're welcome here anytime. We'll have you back on in the playoffs to talk some more NBA.
All right, you guys do a great job. It's so fun. So I'm a major fan and supporter. Thank you for having me.
Bye, Ros. Thank you
Thanks,
for joining
Ros.
us tonight.
Bye.
Look at Jack. He's just worrying about his Benadryl.
Well, I was reading the label and I couldn't figure it out, but the highest it goes is children 6 to 11 years. What should I take? I'll just take like a shot of it.
Yeah, just figure it out, Jack. Like, you're an adult. Like, I know we say you're a child, but you're also an adult.
Thank you.
Is that your girlfriend pouring you your shot of Benadryl?
It is. It's relationship goals.
It's relationship goals, just not on camera.
Bubblegum? That's kind of gross.
Hang on. We gotta check in with Mike here. Mike, where are you broadcasting from tonight?
I'm in Canada, Ontario. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Are you a Fred VanVleet fan?
Big Raptors fan, big Fred guy. Of course, he was on the championship team a couple of years ago, so never forget that.
There you go. And where are you at? You know, a little Shark Tank pitch. Where are you at with your Top Shot journey? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you hodling? What's the deal?
So I guess I first got in kind of during the first Cool Cats challenge. Accumulated some moments. Got in before the first big bull run. Accumulated a few series 1. Right now I'm just kind of holding what I have, not really looking to go crazy by acquiring more, but still kind of grabbing packs, playing the challenge game a little bit, leveling up when I can, but not necessarily looking to jump in a bunch more.
Yeah, for sure. What's exciting you in the Top Shot space? I know you have a Throwdown pack, so you're still grabbing these packs right now.
Yeah, just kind of trying to balance between having fun with it and the EV of it all, really.
Yeah.
I come primarily from DFS, so that's kind of my main focus. Top Shot was kind of something that took over my timeline and was fun. Is still fun. I mean, I did the Fred VanVleet challenge just because I'm a Raptors guy. Despite looking at the numbers and seeing that it may be minus EV, it's still fun, right? Which is what this should be in the end.
That's
So,
right. And I feel like, do you have a really cool hoodie on right now? Normally it's Andy who has really cool hoodies on this show, but I feel like your hoodie's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this is, I would call it like a dress sweater. So we're in Ontario right now. We're still in full lockdown pretty much, like stay at home order. So I actually haven't worn any nice clothes in a while. So I figured the club, you got to come correct to the club, right?
That's
yeah, good for you.
For sure,
I
man.
love that.
None of us are going out wearing a nice shirt, so we have to wear all of our nice clothes in the club. So you're in good company here. I also realized we didn't play the pack hype. I think when we come back after the drop, I think Mike, you queue up your screen here so we can have you rip your Throwdown pack. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, so that's the share button, share screen, Chrome tab, share audio. We'll be ready to rock. I can't believe I didn't do this before Jack's pack, but it is time to open a pack, guys. Yo, 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 what up? It's DJ Pete over Zat. Welcome to the club. We didn't think things were going to get popping tonight, but it's about to get lit. Behind door number 2, it's a 3-pointer. 13-25, Kevin Durant.
That's
We're going to get a LaMelo. We're going to get a Luka. We're going to get a LeBron. Click the reveal. Let's go. God damn it. I don't need another layup. To the window. To the wall. The De'Aaron Fox stripped down my ball. 293 assists. Let's go. 293. Everybody get their drinks. Let's get a cheers tonight before we open up these nice packs. Cheers. Cheers, fellas. Cheers to Mike. Cheers to Ros. A very fun Club Top Shot experience. Let me get Mike's pack up here. Okay, you're sitting on some packs here, Mike. Look at this. You gonna flex? Scroll down. Show us the window.
I just got base and Throwdown. That's it.
There you go. You've been sitting on these, but now you're in the club. You're ready to throw down here. What's your wish list item here?
I guess Zion. I'm a Duke guy when it comes to college basketball, so I wouldn't hate a Zion. Think Jaw's cool. Edwards, obviously,
very,
that's
very rent seeker. Why are you a Duke fan?
What's that?
Why are you a Duke fan?
So I don't really have any like drawn in allegiance to a team, being from Canada. So when I was younger, Duke was always on. They were good. I'll give them that. Coach K, always good.
You're a Patriots fan?
No, I am a Steelers fan. Despise the Patriots, to be honest. So,
okay.
All right, Jack. Did we pass your interrogation?
No, because the chat thinks he's a rent seeker, and so I'm trying to see. I mean, that's a rent-seeking tendency to just support Duke out of the blue. So I'm trying to figure out what his collector score is. I mean, I'm just doing it for the chat.
I grew up rooting for Duke, Jack. Does that surprise you?
Well, yeah, and you guys are known rent seekers. Jennings doesn't even get in line anymore because the pack isn't plus EV, and Pete,
How can I be a rent seeker when I have a podcast called Club Top Shot where all I do is pump Top Shot for 2 hours a week, Jack? All right, Mike. I say we rip this pack here.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Jack, you feel that benedryl yet?
I wish.
Is this a flute?
I feel like you're getting really creative with the music, and I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm hearing.
Huh?
All right. Canada.
Raptor.
He's been playing better lately. He's picked it up.
Mike letting the moments breathe like a true content creator.
Oh, we got a little OKC action, a little Svi Mikhailuk.
A little Svi.
I do love a good OKC bench player. Don't get me started on that.
I do feel like Benadryl is the drink for this drop. Very swervy. Tremont Waters, never heard of him, but I'm going to take a sip of Waters with that prompt.
That's the Jason Tatum moment.
Tomas, double Tomas tonight.
This is a good moment, though.
Yeah, it is.
That's a legit throwdown.
Who's that over to? Is that Jaden McDaniels?
Oh.
Zach Levine.
Oh, that's nice.
All right,
come on,
here it is.
let's get a Zion.
The rare moment. Come on, give us a Zion. Memphis Grizzlies.
I don't
Rare-
know who's Memphis.
Brandon Clark. Mike, reactions, press conference assembles. Hey, you just opened your first pack on Club Top Shot. How you feeling, Mike? A lot of bulls in there tonight. No big Zion pulls, but great effort.
Yeah, don't feel too bad about it. I mean, it is what it is. Raptor included. Brandon Clark, decent player. So.
Do you think you were a bit razzled by the rent seeker comments before the pack opening?
Nah, man, I can take it. I can dish it out. I can take it.
No, we'd love you to dish it out. If you want to make fun of the chat, that's what we do here.
No, I'll leave that to Schefter and the rest of the boys. But
I did just check my sources, and Kareem Hunt is not getting traded, folks.
Your sources are shit.
I mean, you got a no dunk shout out in the chat. That's what more could you need, really?
There you go. We got no dunks in the chat. No dunks. Respond in the chat. Are you worried about our upcoming Club Top Shot versus No Dunks pickup hoops game? You should be worried. I just want you to confirm that you're worried. Let us know. Whoever's working behind that account. I never know if it's Skeets, if it's Trey.
I think that was Trey.
Okay.
He's tweeting about the bull. He's messaging about the Bulls. That's a Trey move right there.
You're right. Skeets would have been more excited about having a Canadian on the
Exactly.
stream.
Yeah.
Mike, real quick, what DFS sports do you grind?
So I try and stay away from the everyday stuff to maintain some sort of sanity. So I like golf, MMA, little NASCAR here and there. Basketball's fun, but unless you're willing to be at your computer from 6 Eastern to last game tip off, it's just not really feasible. And of course, NFL. That's my favorite. It's nothing like NFL DFS. That's how I first started following along with yourself and the rest of the guys, Pete as well. So,
speaking of that, Fantasy Labs coming after me today. We got into a little tiff.
Oh, no, what happened?
No. So I tweeted out that the Knicks were 5.5 point favorites and LeBron was out, but the news wasn't official. And Woj had tweeted and Fantasy Labs had tweeted he's likely to play. But last night they listed him out on the injury report, which was more recent than the Woj tweet. So I was going off that info. And so when they were actually trolling one of the Knicks beat reporters because someone was like, Begley is reporting that LeBron's out. And he's like, that's why you don't get your news from Ian Begley. And then like 30 minutes later, they announced he was out. And so I was just like joking around, like, suck it, like Fantasy Labs. Because they're the best. They're better than everyone. And they deleted the tweet though. And I was like, damn, like you can't come at Begley and then delete the tweet. Yeah, delete it. I mean, I guess that is a Jennings move, so that would make sense. But speaking of that, I've been reading the the DFS book. What's it called? The Kings of something.
Dueling
something.
with Kings.
Yeah,
not
Dueling
Kings
with
of
Kings.
Leon. Yeah.
CSU Ram. I mean, every chapter that he's just in there. I'm waiting for a little man's mention, but maybe you're in edition 2.
It doesn't come. I've read the whole book. It doesn't come. Although, Jack, fun fact, Mans did interview Daniel Barbarisi, the author of that book.
Really?
Once it come out. And I need to reach out to him to interview him about his new book that's dropping here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Will you be in that one?
I will not be in that one, but he went on a treasure hunt with Beep I'm a Jeep, looking for Fern's treasure, I believe is what it's called. Yeah.
Okay. Because it made me think, because it was funny that like hypothetically, if someone wrote a book about TopShot, like would we be mentioned in it? And like what the fuck would they talk about us in regards to the book in the future?
I feel like it wouldn't be good things.
No. But like, what bad things? You know, like would he be quoting, you know, Cum Rocket stuff and stuff like that, or not?
Would there be a book about TopShot that references Cum Rocket?
I mean,
Is that your question?
That's the funny thing, though. It was like a pretty not personal book, but like he does like, I mean, he curses and stuff, but it was just funny. Like every hour, it's like CSU Ram 88 or what.
Yeah, there was lots of mentions from the good old days. I will say that is a great book. It's a very fun read, and it will also make you want to play NHL DFS after you read it.
Why that?
What's that?
Why NHL DFS? I have not read the book.
Because so it's kind of like participatory journalism where he learns how to play DFS from Beep I'm a Jeep, Barbarisi, and Beep I'm a Jeep's specialty was hockey. So like all the specifics about it, and I don't want to give too many spoilers, but Daniel gets very good at NHL DFS because of Beep I'm a Jeep's tips. So
I'll have to read it.
Yeah,
people forget Jennings was a DFS sharp. Now he's just an NFT sharp.
Now he's just selling the top.
I'm just a donkey.
Get out of here. All right. I think it's about time to shut down the club. I think we do a walk-off Pete Overzet Throwdown pack. Any other final words from you guys tonight? It's been a very fun show.
Pleasure as always. Mike, nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah, Mike, great to meet you, dude.
And go Duke.
Nice to meet you guys.
Am I right?
Go Duke. He said that so it was genuine right there. That seemed legit.
Yeah.
I will say one last comment.
Yeah.
We need another night with Andy. The DeFi streets. If you're tracking any of this stuff, more and more money is going into DeFi. And I feel like Ethereum's move is highly correlated with the adoption in DeFi. Would you say that's accurate, Andy?
I would, yes.
Cool.
Yeah, we will pick Chef Andy's brain more in the coming weeks. Maybe we can even
Sushi
twist
is back, boys, by the way.
What is?
Sushi is back.
Sushi?
Yeah.
On the Polygon.
Did it leave? Did we leave?
No, but there's
now it's
there's
even
a
better.
new sushi farm on the Polygon chain. It's quite tasty.
All right, here we go. All right, I will order sushi again for another show to figure out what the fuck is going on now.
I think that's a great idea, don't you?
I need some pad thai. Yeah.
Wait.
All right, yeah, we'll figure
You
it out.
can't order pad thai. That's not part of it.
No,
It's not
Jack,
allowed.
yeah, that's just God. This guy's fucking drinking Benadryl and eating pad thai on sushi nights. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
He took multiple shots of Benadryl, too.
Yeah, because she gave me like a hat, you know, whatever.
Jack, real quick on that. Are you drinking that because you're drinking alcohol? 'Cause I've been told I get the rosy cheeks. It looks real bad. And like, oh, you should drink Benadryl before you drink alcohol. Should I do that?
No, that is not why. I'm having bad allergies, so I was taking some Benadryl. But I've had allergic reactions. That would make sense. But it makes you really sleepy. So that with alcohol would just be, I mean, Gracie calls 4 a.m. That's going to be tough.
All right, the people want a sushi Polygon club next week. We'll figure it out. We are going to open one more pack here. Let's do it. Thank you guys for joining on Club Top Shot. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, download us on iTunes, yada, yada, yada. Throwdown pack. Let's go.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I think Pete's going to hit big here. That's what I'm feeling.
All right, let's go.
By the way, hey, can I throw one other thing out there? What are the odds I can get you guys to Miami for that Logan Paul?
What is that?
When is it? June?
Hang on. I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
This is important. There's a crypto conference in Miami, June 4th through the 6th. I think on the 5th or the 6th, Logan Paul fights Mayweather.
I'm there.
By the way,
No, I'm there for sure.
I mean, I'd love to see Mayweather just absolutely demolish Logan Paul.
He's going.
Well, I'm going to bet the house on Mayweather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've had one chance to do this already with when McGregor
Yeah.
and like
The line's
I'm
already
not-
moving towards Paul too, which is just the Yahtzee.
Oh, it's so good. I've never pumped anything on my Snap, but I may pump that Logan Paul.
You've
has
never pumped anything on your Snap. Bullshit.
Promo code. That's different. That's different. Nah, but you know what I'm saying. But I may convince everyone. Like this could be my shitcoin pumping. Is that Logan Paul's going to win the fight? We get him to like pick him, and then we just retire on Mayweather.
Okay.
What's
All
the current line?
The move from
Yeah,
like
what is the
Mayweather
line?
minus 2,000 to minus 1,100. Let me check if that's.
Ooh, talk about fuck DeFi.
Yeah, I
Take
mean,
a
he's like one of the best boxers ever.
All right, this is not financial advice. All right, we're gonna open this packet in this show before we make you do anything with your money you shouldn't be doing. We're back now. Here we
Wait,
go.
Jennings, I'm coming with you to Miami.
Yeah,
I could probably be there.
Jennings needs a mulligan on Miami after missing out on last weekend.
Bales closes on his penthouse. I mean,
All right,
imagine not being in Miami.
I'll sleep on the floor. All right, let's go. Mike, give me a number 1 through 6 that's not 2. Mike's muted. I heard 3. 3. Common 1525. Gary Trent Jr.
Ooh.
Are you gonna open?
Get a little
Let's go.
rookie action.
Oh, for the win.
I thought it was gonna be my guy.
Also went to Duke. Also went to Duke.
Duke guy. There you go. All right, let's do 4. Donovan Mitchell.
There you go.
Ooh.
That was nuts. I like it a lot.
Let's go 1. Common 4-4. Solomon Hill.
He is not a. Oh, it's his first moment, not a rookie moment.
Ooh.
Sick pass. What happened to the music?
Did the music stop?
What a ridiculous first moment.
Solomon Hill. Wow. All right. Here we go. Number 6. Common 1843. JJ Redick. Another dookie for Mike.
Yeah, 3 first moments already. That's awesome.
Jack called it. He said I was gonna hit.
Wait till you pull this freaking Zion.
It's kind of crazy
By the
that
way,
it's
JJ was like-
Redick get a moment.
He should have had to run it back.
Daniel House Jr.
The only player to have to leave the bubble for cheating on their scouts. Interesting niche you got there.
You know how much I love bubble trivia, like Damian Lee and how his time went in the bubble. All right, guys, thank you for coming out. This is a walk-off moment here. Club Top Shot. We got Mike from the VIPs. We got Jack Settleman, Pete Jennings. We got Andy. Thank you to MBL and Ros, our special guests, for joining us tonight. Let's go out on a high moment. Sacramento Kings, Rare 1470. Terrence Davis. I just learned his name for the first time. Terrence Davis. We love you guys.
Jack, that might have been the worst pack of all time.
See you guys next week.